So, Winchester Randall III here, Advent listeners, to tell you the tale, my greatest adventure, what? It all started earlier today when a rather upbeat and personable woman named Audrey and her strongly silent silver corporal companion, Mirren, was sent to the Imperius to look for recent disappearances that have been occurring throughout the city. They arrived here via teleportation circle and quickly made their way to the Hunter's Lodge, where they met a rather dapper gentleman named Darcy. Upon making their way to while enlisting the help of the said gentleman, they were soon interrupted by a rather simple but charming spider lady named Effie, who fell from the sky into the hearts of their newly formed party. They entered the guild looking for information about their assignment task, where they met the dashing gift adventurer.
Get off there.
And he died. Yeah.
Winchester died!
It might be because I reminded him to record and he forgot.
No, he said you started the recording before.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
Why do you have that on hand and ready?
Boy.
Check to see if you accidentally unplugged yourself again.
Again?
I got it. Again, my mic has a slight. If it's slightly off, it disconnects.
Oh joy.
Where was I where'd you guys get cut off?
Winchester started introducing himself.
Oh, when he did. Okay, when enlisting the help of the gentleman, they did the gift and the dashing gift adventurer, yours truly. Ha! Well, unable to resist my grandiose charm, the party invited me along to help them with their inquiries, and we all set off to solve the rather sticky mystery we had set on our hands. We went to the watch house where we discovered people of various levels of authority have been taken, ranging from slaves to low-level lords have gone missing, and continued off to the Golden Hat Estates. We had heard the poor chap's nephew had been one of the current victims. Oddly enough, Darcy had separated himself from the group earlier and met up with us at the estate, where we soon discovered that the Gold Hand's nephew had been wandering out in the middle of the night without a word of explanation. Quite a queer scenario, if you ask me, and the only explanation that Miss Audrey could think of was vampire hypnosis. A rather batty idea, if you ask me. Pun intended, what? In any case, we had decided to investigate the room of the nephew for clues. There we discovered the leg of the bed had been scratched on by marks, and with the help of our trained eye of Darcy, we were able to determine that they were rat claw marks, which led the party to conclude that our adversary is some sort of vampire using rats to lure people out in the streets to be mind-controlled. Which brings us back to the point in time we wandered back to the soft paw pillow to get some well-needed R&R before we continue on our glorious quest. What? And at this point, you look over and you guys see, after Winchester had been talking to himself, he puts a little bowl back into his pocket he had been talking into.
And that's my whole tragic backstory.
So as you guys start wandering your way past Golden Hand Estates, past the Mike's Magical Mole, on your way back to the Soft Paw Pillow. Is there anything you guys want to do? At this point, you are getting close to late dusk at the moment. About it's about probably an hour till sunset. Telling me it's dark out.
I'm fine to head off. Oh wait, hold on, wrong character.
It's gonna take some time to adjust.
It's gonna take a lot of time to adjust. Okay, so I'm gonna retire for the night and tell you folks what I found on the streets today, if you'd hear me out.
Oh yes, do tell us about your adventure. Excuse me, not our adventure. I'm confusing myself here. It is getting pretty late, so I mean, it is advised not to be walking around in the streets at night, but I think we're a pretty solid group here.
Hey, but do we have any reason to go walking out in the street? I think we should head to the inn so we can sit down and talk over a nice, frothy glass of mead.
Well, it is a new city, and many of us haven't been here before, so, playing a little bit of tourist, but I understand we are on a mission and not doing studying things that aren't within the researchy area of this case. But anyways, yes, no, I don't actually drink that much. Actually, I don't think I've drunk much alcohol at all. Last time I actually drank. Well, anyways, that sounds like fun. So do tell us all of your stories, all your adventures, and we shall head to the softball if everyone else would like to go.
What exactly are we drinking?
Oh fuck, that's right, your voice. Hey, we're drinking loads of ale and mead and probably bourbon if they got it here, but probably more of the exotic wines if they is probably more their specialty.
I'm not familiar with any of those, but they sound wonderful.
Have you ever been drunk before?
Well, since I do not know what that is, I would have to say no.
I'm gonna show you how to have a good time is what we're gonna do. Let's go! And Darcy will start marching off to wherever the direction the inn is.
Effie will follow, clapping her hands, and just be like,
Oh, I love having fun. Are we going to kill some?
We're gonna kill our boredom is what we're gonna do.
Oh, how fun.
Perhaps a few brain cells while at it. What?
Oh dear. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've been intoxicated myself. That would be an interesting study, wouldn't it?
Oh god, am I gonna be the sober friend? One drunk person I could handle. Two, and one who can launch fire out of their fingertips.
Oh yeah, fire and alcohol. That's a good mix.
This is gonna be a fun night. It's like Fiddlefair all over again.
So as you guys make your way towards the soft paw pillow, we once again by the time you reach the town, it's basically the sun is about to set. Things are getting dark. You guys look over and you see what seems to be the familiar-looking sign of the little kitten curled up in the paw pillow, sitting on the sign. And you move your way in. Let me load the map to the soft paw pillow inn.
Ooh, that's a big inn.
Oh, I know the song. I don't remember what it's called, but I know it.
It's just tavern music I got from random tavern music, so...
I should put my headphones on so I could hear this music, because I forgot that's the thing.
So as you all enter the tavern, you see, well, looks to be a rather varied crowd of various people, obviously mostly Tabaxi and Lizardborn, but you see a few other various other races about. Some gnomes, a few halflings, elf, dwarf. You see even a gnoll sitting around the thing with a blue dragonborn with some goblins and furbogs. At the counter, playing at a band, you see a pair of Tabaxi bards, keeping everybody busy with harmonious music. Well, you see kind of a friendly-looking bartender Tabaxi at the thing, serving drinks in his big apron, handing out booze and fairly good-natured. I will bring up a picture of him just so you see the bartender.
How many gnomes are there in the place?
At the moment, you see one gnome and one halfling.
What'd you say?
Are they at the same table?
They're at
Check
the
it
same
out.
table.
Effie, as soon as we walk in, is going to look at that table and approach it and just clasp her hands together and say,
Oh, you are both so tiny.
As you do so, the gnome and the halfling kind of look over at you. He goes, the halfling woman with a couple beers in her hand goes, "Aye, we might be tiny, but we're pretty fierce fighters if you don't mess with us there, Miss Spider Lady."
Oh, and you're fighters. That's wonderful. How did you get so small?
They're born that way. It's in their DNA.
The halfling looks at you and goes, "You just asked me how did I get so small? I might as well ask you how you have 8 legs there, missy."
Oh, well. One day I was present as far as my memories go, and there they were.
Well, I could say the same about our height. Isn't that right, Clark? Yeah, that's right, Evan. That is a good point. Yeah, we are small because the way things go. That is how the gnome work.
Oh, you must be able to fit into so many small spaces. I'm quite envious.
Yeah, well, it does help us, sneaking about and getting in the cracks, I suppose.
Oh, that is fascinating.
Hello?
I'm sorry for bother.
Yep.
Hey, I'm back.
No.
I'm so sorry for interrupting. I just couldn't help myself. It's so
What did I
nice
miss?
to meet you.
Efren's been talking to the gnome and halfling and calling him short.
Ah! I'm going to go over to the... Okay. Darcy will just walk past that and just go to the bartender.
Okay, feel free to move you guys on the map too, so...
Audrey is gonna be kind of wandering around among the tables and obviously oogling at all the different races and just, I'm wondering if I should ask anybody about their environments and how they rescue up. Oh, and maybe I should also talk to the gnomes since they've already been introduced. Oh, there's so many people to talk. Oh, wait, right. We are going to get a drink. Where am I? Oh, right, this way.
So as Darcy sits on sops with somebody's lap.
Oh, it's someone else. I'm sorry. I assumed that spot was empty.
I was just joking, it's just kind of funny, like, right on top of a man. It's like, what are you doing, buddy?
I'm giving out
Darcy
free
is a
lap
bold
dances.
one,
What does it
isn't
look like?
So as Darcy, you approach the tabaxi innkeeper, who's in the middle of, like, cleaning up a mug and getting some ale ready for his customers. He goes, may I help you, my friend?
Hey, my good sir. I'd like to place in an order for a couple of drinks here for me and my good friends here. And I gesture to Winchester and Audrey, and I'm about to gesture to Miriam. I'm like, are they friends?
Sorry, you just asked if we were friends?
Yes.
I would not consider us friends, no.
Well, I think we're good acquaintances, if anything.
We're working
Beer?
together. That's as far as it's going.
Oh,
do
don't
you
be
want some beer,
shy.
I will have a beer.
Alright, get a beer for that one too, and Effie. Oh goodness, Effie.
Oh, check the ceiling.
Effie's standing on the table
Yeah,
of
I
the
point
gnome.
back with a thumb.
Oh, there she is.
Did you want a drink there, missy?
Oh,
Effie,
no,
we're gonna...
I just learned this proper etiquette in places like this.
Effie.
Someone told you the proper etiquette was dancing on tables, was it?
Oh no, I'm just standing.
Fair enough. As the gnome and the halfling kind of look at each other with, like, raised eyebrows and go back to their drinks.
Effie, would you mind coming to the bar over here? I want to show you something.
Oh, yes, come join us.
Oh, I'm so excited to see.
Effie will climb down and make her way over.
So you climb down, make your way over. Yes, and how may I assist you, all of you, with your drinks?
Just a round of ale for the lot of us, if you'd so kind.
Very good. And he goes in and pours the game. By the way, the name is Hops Brew. My friends call me Brew.
Well, I'll be friends. Second time I've asked this tonight.
Pardon?
I said, are we friends? Second time I've had asked this tonight.
You're a customer. I consider all paying customers friends.
Hopster,
then,
how
Brew.
amusing.
Well then,
We
Brew,
don't
I'm
know.
happy to see you. By the way, not that I don't like the atmosphere here, do you happen to have a back room that's a bit more quiet?
We have the rooms upstairs for purchase of sleeping, but
Alright.
we don't have much for private booths. Is that what you're speaking about?
I was thinking of something along those lines, but sure. Private room. I'm sure we're going to need one anyway.
Very good. It will cost a silver per room.
Alright. And I'll give him a silver.
Very good. So you hand him a silver.
I hand him a silver.
Winchester's like, oh, probably best they all stick together for the night, eh? And he hands a silver as well for his room.
Oh, that's right. We're going to be staying over for the night. I wonder. Would anyone like to sleep over with me? We could have a little sleepover party.
Sure. You can share my room. I've got space in it, right? And I kind of look at him. How many beds are there?
Generally, it's one bed per room.
Oh, goodness. Oh, also, Miss Miriam, is part of your contract to stay with me even through the night, or will you be getting your own room? What is the situation here?
The success and further of my deal relies solely on your safety. I will be staying in your room.
Well, I don't want you sleeping on the floor. Or we could make it kind of like a total sleepover, and I could put my sheet over next to yours, and then we could sleep on the floor and, have little talks at night.
I will be fine.
If you are in need of a bed, I could procure one for you.
I am fine. I've slept on worse surfaces than wood.
If you care to share rooms, we can rent you a cot for a copper.
Think on it for a second. Waste of coin, I will be fine.
Yeah, share a copper's not that much.
I just glare at him for a second.
I'm offering
We'll
to
be
pay. I'm
fine.
trying to be nice to you.
You may spend your money how you wish.
Alright.
Well,
I
if
just
you
kinda look
change your mind, I can make a bed for you.
Can you make a bed out of your web?
I can string web from one corner to the other, and you can stick to it. It's very comfy.
Oh, just a resourceful little hammock. I love that.
As you say that, you notice that Brew kind of gives you a bit of a raised eyebrow. Goes, you better not make a mess in my rooms, miss.
Oh, no. We're not going to eat anybody tonight. We're all friends here. Isn't that right, Debbie?
Oh,
Brew's like, upon that statement, Brew's eyes go very wide. She eats people.
Actually,
They're kidding. They're kidding.
oh, don't worry. Only bad people. You don't seem bad.
Can I
Effie's
just,
gonna insight check the bartender to see if he's bad.
Go ahead and roll it.
Oh god.
Okay. He doesn't seem like a bad person, just a normal tabaxi businessman.
I just look at him and just lean in. I'm like, please, can I just have one now?
Yes, of course. He looks over at Effie. Roll me a perception check just for giggles, Darcy.
No. Perception, you say? Let me pull up my character sheet again.
my glasses.
Oh, that's still on GM, but it's 20.
Yeah. Okay, so you, with your perception, do notice as he's pouring everybody's drink, the glass he's about to hand to Effie, he seems to water down. As if he's worried what this person would do if they get drunk.
You know what? I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
That's fair.
Just gonna...
As he hands each person an ale, Winchester takes up and goes, "Cheers with what? as he starts downing his giant mug that's probably 3 times the size of the rest of yours. You have a feeling Winchester's a regular here, and Brew knows what he drinks.
Cheers! And I'll just
cheers.
start drinking mine.
Clink. Audrey will take a sip. Like, she will go to take a sip of the beer, make a face because it's very bitter, but she doesn't want to be rude, so she kind of just grimaces and continues to drink and chug. Yes, very good!
I look at Effie, I just say, now it's supposed to taste bitter, but if you drink enough of it, you're gonna start feeling real good.
Oh, well.
Think of it like medicine.
Effie will copy what she saw Winchester do, and she'll just down it.
Oh god. So as Effie just downs her drink instantly like Winchester, what does Effie weigh out of curiosity?
Good question.
I can't imagine you have a lot of mass in that spider.
Yeah, and she's 6'5", so probably like.
She's gotta be at least
A few 100 pounds, probably.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal for you. You and Winchester seem to pound him back just fine. It's not as bitter as you expected. It's a little bland, a little more bland than you thought. Even a little sweet at times too. Maybe a hint of sugar in there.
Effie is delighted by that sugar and just starts trying to put her face in the glass to lick.
I look over to Bruce. I'm just like, by chance do you happen to serve like a pina colada?
I do serve various mixed drinks. One moment. If you'd like, I can make you one of my home specialties of a monkey's lunch.
Ooh, specialty?
What's in
We're
that one?
going to eat a monkey.
It's a metaphor.
It's a drink name. It's a monkey's lunch, not monkey is lunch.
Oh, that's disappointing.
You might like it. It's a bit of a sweet drink.
Oh, I'm eager to try this sweet.
So you see Hops or Brew get into the thing, and he brings out 3 various alcohols. One which everybody instantly recognizes as a white thing of milk. He brings out what could only be described as kind of like a yellow liqueur liquid, as well as like a darker sort of alcohol. For those of you who don't know what a monkey's lunch is, and this one's good for you, Michael, a monkey's lunch is milk, banana liqueur, and Kahlua.
Ooh, that sounds good.
They're
Ugh,
delicious,
that
actually.
sounds
Huh?
I'm not much of a drinker, but that actually sounds good.
I'd actually like Kahlua if it was a little less strong.
Well, that's what the banana liqueur and the milk's about.
Ooh.
I hate milk. Ugh.
Great, fair enough.
That's what gets you.
As he kind of makes
All
you
right,
each a
Edward
glass
Ulrich.
of it, he passes you each a glass to drink. I was just thinking Tabaxi's milk. It's one of the few milk drinks I know.
Alright, I
That
take a
is
sip.
interesting. There's a little bit of milk there. Oh, and the banana liqueur. Oh, that's what. Oh, that's
I just
why-
start drinking
the
it.
Mickey.
No questions asked. Just start drinking.
So will Effie.
It's kind of like a sweet banana taste.
Ooh, I gotta say this is actually quite good. You know, most people don't. Most men of where I come from don't like to admit it. I got to say, I prefer the sweet drinks.
Is that what this feeling is? Sweet?
Not exactly. See, when you get intoxicated, it's well, it depends on each person. Some people tend to get really happy. Some tend to get a little bit sad. It's more of extra emotion, I suppose you could call it, with a little bit of hand-eye coordination imbalance. But this
see.
drink is really sweet. I would like to try a little more of this.
Effie's gonna just kind of think to herself, confused as to whether or not it's the sweet or the alcohol that she's feeling.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. Brew,
Yes, my friend.
do you know how to make a good mojito?
Mojito? Yes, I do know how to make a mojito.
One mojito for the girl. I kind of just for Effie.
Very good. Yes, once again, he gigs up, slaps together a mojito, and hands it to Effie.
I can't wait to get the bill for all this, by the way.
Yes.
Effie will taste it.
You know, Darcy, I gotta admit, Michael, I've never actually had a mojito, so you'd have to describe the taste of this one.
All right, so it's basically it's got a teaspoon of sugar syrup in it, 6 fresh mint leaves with extra to garnish, juice of a lime, so it's a little sour. You put it on some ice. You got about 1 ounce of Jamaica rum in there, some club soda, and then you dash with bitter.
It's good.
It's really good. It's a little sour, but it's really like smooth and it doesn't burn. It's really good.
Does it taste sweet?
No, it's more of a sour drink. Like
Effie
not
makes
like,
a face.
Not a fan of sour, I take it?
This is not the same feeling. I don't like this one.
So she's
Fair
a
enough.
sweet tooth. We've learned something new.
I'll
Well,
just
if
take
it's
her
sweet you
mojito
like,
and then
Miss Effie, perhaps I could suggest a drink with what?
while she puts her drink away and it's like says that she doesn't like it, I'm just gonna just move my hand slightly over to go grab it and down it.
Yes, I
Stealth.
just do. As Winchester goes, Bruce, give me some of your finest. Well, I suppose we should test to see if it's the sweet or the alcohol, Effie. Why don't you give us some of that concoction you made, the hot chocolate? Huh?
Ooh, hot chocolate.
Very good, Mr. Winchester. As you see Brew go in there, and he pulls out a kettle that starts boiling and looks out to make what seems to be like a chocolate and kind of like melts the chocolate into a liquidy, hot chocolatey drink. And hands it to Effie.
Is this also the alcohol?
That actually one is alcohol-free, but quite sweet. What?
Effie will drink it.
You give it nice and sip. It's very sweet. But get that nice, like, sweet, bitter, with a slight, nice, bitter, chocolatey taste that always comes with it.
Effie will look at the bartender and just be like,
You have truly made a wonderful gift.
Oh boy.
Thank you.
Oh, this reminds me of home. How I do miss the tavern over there. I didn't really drink the whole lot, but I did love the bartender.
Winchester goes,
So it sounds
what a great person was he there, Miss Audrey. What?
Oh yes, actually, have you ever heard of Blinkus of the Owl Tree Tavern?
have I?
Probably given your background, I don't know. I don't think your character probably would have been to Owl Tree.
Alright.
Miss Miriam, have you ever heard of him? After all, you have been in town.
I cannot say I have. I have not spent long within Owl Tree, not longer than I would wish to.
Well, I am blanking out on his race, but that makes it all the
okay.
funnier.
Audrey, why don't you physically describe him then? That'll help everybody.
All right, you'll probably figure this out pretty quickly because this is a it's a top tier D&D creature. Well, Blinkus is so wonderful. He has has amazing conversations. I actually end up learning deep speech because of him, just because he's so interesting.
Is he a mind flare?
He's a what?
Nope.
Is he a mind flare?
Nope.
Okay. Beholder?
Yes.
You said deep speech, and I know like 3.
Yeah, I was
speaking.
immediately going with the same kind of ideas.
Yeah.
yes, I'd come over there just to have conversations with him. Once you actually have learned his language, he has so much to talk about. But yes, he has all sorts of little tentacles coming out of him, and one giant eye. But you know, for someone that you would normally, I know that others may think of him as just a little bit scary, a little bit strange, but he makes the best hot chocolates, the best old fashions that I've ever tasted, and I believe he's made a mojito as well.
Hey, then I'd like to meet him at some point.
Of course.
Darcy has no idea what the heck this is, by the way.
Let me see. Oh goodness, it's been a while. Just this is so normal to me that I've never really thought about his face. Let me look at my notes. Just a moment. Here, no. Mind flare. Oh no, that's Lost Town. Oh right, a beholder. That's what he is.
Does that make any sense to me?
Do I
You
know what
would
a
know-
beholder is?
Yeah, I would say you guys are aware of what beholders are.
Oh! Sight to see then! I forgot to say.
Oh, definitely.
You'll have to introduce me to him, and also, why is Effie over there in the corner?
She's just like sitting down with like cupping the little cup between her hands and just like kind of dabbing at the chocolate like a dog.
Laughing at it.
Blem. There she goes. I suppose she likes to enjoy her drink in a little bit of solitude. Get all the flavors in.
Oh no, I can still hear you.
You know,
Alright.
I'd hate to see what happens if we introduce her to cheesecake, eh? What?
Oh,
Oh,
she
cheesecake.
probably...
Does sound
Hey.
delightful.
So many
Bar.
things we have yet
Bro.
to hear of.
Bro, question for you.
Yes, my friend.
You wouldn't happen to serve cheesecake, would
I do, in fact, have a few slices left from today's dinner.
Can we have it just a little slice, at least just a bit?
Of course, give me one moment, my friends. And he wanders off and brings up like a big slice of chocolate strawberry cheesecake.
Oh my goodness, it has strawberries.
As he slaps it down on a small slice for each of you.
Thank you, good sir.
Cheers!
Yes, Liam, here, try some.
Oh, there's a slice for you, so I'll definitely eat it.
Yeah. You guys all each enjoy a slice of a delicately, very well-made cheesecake, very creamy.
Oh, what is
Did you
this?
make it yourself?
What is this magic?
It's my mother's homemade recipe.
Homemade, this is amazing. It's so creamy, they have the perfect texture. Oh, and I've also been taking notes on how you make drinks. It's so very interesting. Even though I've never done bartending, I don't think I ever will, but it's just nice to look at ingredients and see the chemistry of it all.
I've never had anything like this before.
Are you enjoying it?
Effie finishes her plate and holds it out to the bartender, just like,
I would like some more, please.
I suppose I have a little left. You see, looks at
Yeah.
Effie and looks around, and you see what was like a half a cake that he split into 4 pieces, and there's like a quarter of the cake left. Kind of looks at Effie, looks her up and down, kind of goes, and just slides the whole quarter over to her.
I was gonna offer you my slice, but okay.
Effie digs in and looks like she's in heaven.
Oh goodness, just be sure not to eat too much. I heard a bit too much sugar can be hard on the stomach.
Oh,
it
how
just-
could something that tastes so good be bad?
Have you ever heard of too much of a good thing?
Never.
Well, I think you're about to find out.
Oh dear.
Meanwhile, as Brew is watching Effie eat this, he can't help but notice the little stuffy griffin sitting on her back.
We are a very strange group of individuals. And strangest among us is definitely Effie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think she's wonderful.
This sounds like a bad joke. Like two humans, a spider lady, and a kobold walk into a bar.
Welcome to a bar.
The cheesecake hot chocolate while the hippo man has a pipe.
Evie finishes and holds out her plate again.
I'm sorry, miss. That was all I had left. I may have more for tomorrow if you request it.
Oh, well, I
Yeah,
guess I can wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, no, you can have mine. I'm not too big on strawberries myself, and I just kind of slide her over my plate.
I had you wrong, Darcy. You are a good person.
And with her chocolate-covered hand, pats his cheek and then goes back to eat it.
Wait, does that mean you're planning on murdering me at some point?
Did you see him
don't
about passing
worry,
the floor?
not anymore.
Anymore? Well,
Darcy,
happens that she was just plotting against you. It's a good thing that she's still on your good side.
Darcy's just sitting there at the bar, eyes wide, just does not know how he's here right now.
So, Miss Miriam, are you enjoying your cake?
I will admit, if civilizations like this have done anything right, it is the production of food and drink.
Oh, most
I
certainly.
do enjoy it.
Are you into sweets yourself?
They are not my particular flavor, though I do not mind them.
Ooh, what is your particular flavor? If I may ask.
I would say I most enjoy hearty and savory.
Audrey opens up her notebook, flips over to a new page, and Mira can see that she has already had made a page specifically just for her, with little notes that she noticed, the way how far her gait is when she walks. It's this many feet, or she's right-handed or left-handed. It's just nice, savory, and hearty, and also cheesecake here. It's good, perfect. Oh, look, actually, is it alright if I take a little drawing of you?
Why is it that you would want a drawing of me?
It's just part of study, any encounter that I find really interesting, I'd like to have a little portraiture. I'm not the best at drawing, don't get me wrong, but, just kind of
Not
like
to
any...
mention, your natural beauty should be captured at some point.
Exactly!
I can't
It's
give
a bit of
a
a-
smirking. I can't give a sort of half-cocked smile, in the ha-ha sort of way.
Meanwhile, Audrey is completely genuine, she's so beautiful. Gotta get the picture.
I imagine I don't need an insight check to guess
No.
Darcy's opinion. There's a bit of a scowl at you, Darcy.
And all truth and honesty, it's not because he thinks you look ugly, it's just because he knows that annoys you that she'll be drawing you.
If it makes Miriam feel any better, Darcy has said nothing about cleaning the smudge on his cheek.
Wait, what smudge?
Just something over here on that. Just on the right side.
Wait, what?
A little more than
I grab a napkin and try. What's on my cheek?
You have a
Effie
giant
smeared her
chocolate
hand on her.
handprint on your face.
She eats
What did
with her
that happen?
hands. A while ago.
After you gave her the cheesecake,
Oh,
you're too busy
God,
by
I'm
the
sorry.
threat of being eaten to notice.
I just look
Meanwhile-
at Brew and I just look at him. I'm like, get me a hurricane before I go insane, please.
So much for the sober friend.
Very good, my friend. He looks at you, looks at your companions, kind of gives you a knowing nod, and gives you a 2-pint freaking glass, and just starts filling it up.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Audrey is inching a little bit, starting to get too close to comfort to Miriam with her notebook in hand, batting her eyelashes, just waiting for an answer. So, what's the verdict?
If I say no, will you listen?
Reluctantly, but after all, it is your fate and your prophecy, and you'd have to stay still for a little bit. So, yes, I would not do it if you said no. Do I really want to?
There is little worth drawing here. In terms of... We may speak. In terms of me.
But you have such a beautiful face, your scales are such a nice color. I haven't seen this color anywhere else, really.
Audrey, perhaps one day. But not this one.
Alright then, maybe we'll choose another scenery, another time, maybe when it's not so tired. After all, it is nighttime already, so maybe you're feeling a little bit tired and not ready to look mortal present. Sorry, you were saying, Effie?
Oh no, I was just saying I've seen snakes with similar scales.
Are there snakes in the not undergrowth, wrong game.
Greystone lands.
Greystone. Are there snake people in the Greystone lands?
Well, there are probably, but I meant snakes in general.
Oh, the actual snakes.
Yes, Mira reminds me very much of a snake.
How so?
You have this aura around you, like you will bite someone if they get too close.
I will tell you this, Effie. There may not be many creatures that exude that presence where you are from, but here there are many creatures that bite and kill those that step out of line.
Oh, it is actually really common out where I'm from. I'm just meaning in the sense of, snakes when you approach them and they have that little wiggly tail that makes the shaking.
Oh, the rattlesnakes. Oh, those are so fun.
If you have different creatures to compare me to, then I would suggest choosing one of them.
Yes, that's what I was doing. You are just as lovely as them.
I'm just staring her down. Miriam seems like she took very much offense to that comment.
Oh no.
Effie's just smiling away, not knowing.
Oh, by the way, as I have 2 glasses in my hand at this point of fruity, delectable goodness, Darcy just looks around and says to y'all, he says, "Oh, by the way, mind if we go find mind if we head upstairs? I do want to talk to you about what I found today, too."
Oh yes, that's right. That's what we were here for. I get so distracted.
Yeah. And I start looking at the stairs.
Oh, which room number are we again?
Feel free to pick any rooms that are vacant for yourselves.
Oh, all right. Oh, right. Let me get my bag here. And she puts in 1 silver and 1 copper.
Very good. The baths are upstairs as well if you need to freshen up.
Oh, that's Oh, goodness, I just realized I had soot on me this entire day. Well, that's pretty normal, so, it's too bad I didn't learn prestidigitation. That would have been very helpful, but, science first, looks later.
I just look at Brew and how much have I drank at this point? Am I starting to,
You're feeling it at this point.
Okay.
You've got that warm glow face feeling.
Brew, how much do I owe you, by the way, my friend?
For the drinks, the cheesecake, and for all your companions combined, a gold coin.
Done. And a gold coin. I was honestly expecting that to be a lot worse.
I was
Drinks
also
are
expecting.
expensive.
How is Audrey feeling it since she had a bit of beer and then the pina colada?
Well, since Audrey's never really drank before, you said you had one beer. Anything else?
One beer, and she asked for a pina colada.
Okay, so you'd probably feel it a little bit because you haven't eaten all day either, being the cheesecake being the first thing you've eaten since you've gotten here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
So you're all a little
Eating.
feeling it.
Oh dear, is this what they call tipsy? Lights are swaying just a bit. How interesting. And she's trying to write. Kind of leans over to one side, but then catches herself on the way to the stairs.
So you guys head upstairs?
Hey, I'll help the lightweight up.
Hey! Feel free to pick your rooms.
Where are they?
Just a note to the DM, Effie did follow, but she did not put any coin down for a room.
Winchester sighs and puts a coin down for her.
What a bro.
Oh, you still have dynamic lighting on right now. I can't really see much.
You should still be able to see.
Well, I see a
If-
little
if
bit
we-
of light
if
around
we
the
room-
torches, but nothing much more after
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's because you guys are at nighttime. The torchlight is the light of the rooms.
Oh, I guess I'll go up to the. I guess I'll grab a torch off the wall.
You grab a torch, okay.
Yeah, I need to be able to see, man.
There you go.
Thank you. And I will find a.
Audrey will follow.
You guys are in the bathrooms right now.
I know.
That is
Oh.
a
I'm just writing that
bathtub.
down.
There's rooms over here.
Rooms are to the left,
there.
guys. Rooms are to the left.
Got it.
Mir's just gonna sleep in the bathroom.
I mean, after this turnt night, am I right, lads? Effie!
Oh,
Effie, are you there?
No response from where you guys are because I don't see you.
Oh dear, I think we've lost her.
how did we lose her? We were
one
just
moment,
downstairs.
He goes over. Effie! You around here, Effie?
Oh, yes, hello.
Over here, Effie. What?
She had started weaving a little web in the corner of the room rather than go on the bed.
Oh,
I
boy.
suppose this is where you'll be sleeping. Well, since we're all here, might as well we start our meeting.
Hey, I'll make it brief. More or less, my ear to the ground told me that, more or less confirmation of what we already know, that we learned at the Golden Hand estate. The Swiftclaws seem to be, involved in this in some form or fashion. And it seems that people are just walking out of their houses at night and wandering off to God knows where.
Hmm. So you found out about the Swiftclaw. Did you go to their hideout? Well, I suppose it wasn't a hideout. They were another rival business. So did you go to the business? Did you talk to anybody?
Well, I wanted to talk to you guys first, see if we could, the plan of what we're doing tomorrow. I know that you, Miss Audrey, have to go and to your library to start looking up more about the vampire folk, right?
Oh, yes.
Well, I can get some more information on the Swiftclaws, maybe start peering at their house, see breaking
Hmm.
or what they even are. I doubt if they're involved, they're going to want to investigators who aren't official. I mean,
That is true. Will you be all right by yourself, though? If something happens, or if you end up getting caught, snooping a bit and sneaking about.
oh, I'm not planning on going into their house tomorrow, not until we've all decided upon it. I'm just going to get some more info on, maybe scope it out a bit, kind of keep an eye on it, maybe ask some people around town.
Well, if you want to know
yeah,
about the
be interesting.
Swiftclaws, I do know a little bit about them myself. What?
Oh, do
Oh,
tell.
what do you know?
Well, they are the Golden Head said a rival business factor, but not in the way you might think. What? Swiftclaws, in fact, the main provider of security around the city.
Oh,
But he does it the old-fashioned way, with soldiers and such. What?
So not magical.
Sorry?
So not magical.
Not really, no. He believes more in the arms force. You remember how Mr. Goldhorn said his house was set up with a magical system for security, right?
Aye.
yes.
Well, other houses have been getting similar treatments for them, which of course cuts into the Swiftclaw family estate's need for bodyguards and such. What?
Alright then.
So that rules out the idea that they're using their old style as a cover for possible magical means.
Well, it's not like they have no magic at all, but they don't rely on magical effects for things and such. Father, as I recall, the daughter just returned back from visiting, going to school abroad only, but a few months ago, or no, wait, I tell you, about 8 months ago, she returned back from the city, from the capital. What?
Sorry, who
Well,
is coming back? What's the connection?
Their
Is she
daughter.
part of
The daughter came back from visiting the capital
the daughter of
of the Swiftclaw family.
Okay. You
Hey.
don't think that she could be another victim of this, do you?
I have absolutely no idea. She's apparently still at the house, as far as I'm aware.
well, I could take a look and I could talk to some more folks that I know that might more about their specifics of their house. Do a little digging up, see what we can find. Our leads right now point us into the direction of the rats, the Swiftclaws, and potentially maybe the sewers. Is what we were thinking, if I'm not
Sewers.
forgetting.
I
Because of the
believe we
rats?
did discuss that just a brief moment. Oh, actually, I have a question. So magic has been trending in the forms of protection of homes. Is there another business that takes care of that, or is it by personal means?
You were referring to the fact that do you mean sorry, do you mean could you ask the question again?
Oh,
What you meant?
Basically, she's asking so the Swiftclaw is a business in protection via traditional means. Have people been hiring a magic company to put in installation of magic in their homes, or has it been just
Gold
they
Hands
hire
does
whatever?
the magical hand installation kind of thing. That's what he's known for, is
Okay.
magical enchantments and such for that. And he's been cutting into the
Oh.
Swiftclaw family business by installing magical defense as opposed to soldier defenses.
Now my question is, why would the Swiftclaws be involved trying to steal away slaves? Like, the business competitor's nephew I can understand, but everything else doesn't really mesh well with direction.
Yes, it isn't quite lining up. I suppose the next thing, aside from the Gold Hand estate, are there any other magic users that are big in this area?
As far as I'm aware, the biggest one that is the one who just moved into the big metal mall we passed by. What?
Well, not all the residents are very keen on having them all there, so that would be a possible lead. As I've said before, if there's a possibility, then it's something worth investigating.
Indeed,
you
lots of
want me to-
places to go look around.
Do you want me to try to find out a bit more about the procurator that said mole, as he puts air quotes up, baffled by the idea of an inside bazaar?
They all know. I suppose that would be a good thing, and I could see what I could procure in the library as well. Do you two have any other ideas? And Audrey looks at Effie, who's still possibly weaving, who she's also kind of been low-key watching doing this, and also looks at Miriam.
Effie pauses what she's doing and looks at the group and is just like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to be paying attention?
Well, ideally, it helps to have more heads to brainstorm.
Oh, my apologies. I was distracted. What are we talking about?
It's alright, you have a lovely web going on there. Very nice pattern.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, dear, of course. We were discussing what our plan is next and our possible leads, any suspects. We're thinking about going to the mall, quote unquote, seeing any suspicious activity there. We're going to check out the switch claw, though things don't seem to be adding up, and maybe checking the sewers because of the rats.
Why don't we look for someone who seems like they might be another potential victim and watch them and use them as bait?
The problem with that, though, is that we don't have much connection. Is there any connected thread? Because some slaves and our global. We get folks of all kinds of.
I suppose we do want to keep it low key if we don't want to be targeted ourselves.
Or, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
So the disappearances have been happening in like escalating order in terms of rank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't one of us disguise ourselves as, say, a traveling merchant or noble, and just sort of peruse the town, throw around a bit of coin, and just be like, haha, we're here to have a good time.
Now,
And
do
then,
we have that kind of coin in order to present in that fashion?
Well, as another idea, if we go to another location where someone disappeared or was last seen, perhaps I could ask some little friends there.
Little friends? Are you talking about tiny creatures?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's right, you can talk to rats and other little things, can't you?
Oh, yes, but even better yet, some spiders. It is not very often they stray from their web.
That does sound like a plan. Each of us have, we all have our skills, and I think working this way may be a good start, since we don't have any specific lead. So
Hey.
then, the plan tomorrow, so Miss Effie will check the spiders, and then Mr. Darcy is going to ask around. I'm going to the library and research on the creatures. And Miss Miriam will be coming with me. Mr. Winchester, do you have your own separate plan, or will you be joining one?
I suppose it'd be best if I stick with one of you, I suppose, at the moment, unless you have a different assignment for me.
Well, you are rather knowledgeable on this town, so perhaps following me would be good, add some extra help. Also, Mr. Darcy, unless you prefer to work alone. Miss Effie, you might need someone to come with you, just so then you can learn a little more about the town's etiquette.
Oh, were we planning on splitting up?
It seems that way.
That is a sure way to get killed, though. Splitting up is never a good idea.
That is true. How about this?
Well, I was about to say, my work requires discretion, if you don't mind my saying.
Discretion, well, we do stand out just a little, but Miss Effie does have a point. Well,
I don't know if it's the same here, but in my lands, those who split from the group are the first to be eaten.
Might be a bit different here, Miss Effie. What? In any case, perhaps I should stick with you, just so you don't get lost around here, eh?
Hey, so Mr. Winchester and Effie, Mr. Winchester and Effie will go and take a look around for more spiders and whatnot happened, while Miss Audrey and Miriam go to the library and start poking around in there to see what you. And I'll keep my eye to the streets to see if I can't find anything about the Swift Claws or the Procurator of that mall. It's the Procurator of that mall, by the way, Mr. Winchester.
Right. We need to have a specific time, and a place to meet up to, so we could all gather information and to make sure that none of us have been taken away.
Back here at 2 then?
Back here around 2. Sounds like a plan.
Just
So
in time
everyone
for a
else
late
agree?
lunch.
Oh, this is a terrible plan, but I'll go along with it. It sounds like fun.
You'll see it'll work out.
Okay, is that your guys' planning?
Darcy's just gonna ask Mr. Winter, what was the name of that mall?
Oh, the name of the mall? It's Mix Magic and Meta Mall.
No, the man who's building it, though.
Oh, Mick.
Mick.
Like M-I-C-K?
Yeah, M-I-C-K.
Okay.
Yeah, as
Alright,
far as what he can tell you, Mick is a Greyford Tabaxi who has a yellow feathered Aarakocra at his side, as he told you last time you guys were there.
Right.
Alright, well, I'm still feeling the alcohol. I'll probably go back downstairs and eat something, because I just remembered my body needs a little bit of sustenance. Anyone else would like to eat before we go to bed?
I'm taking a long bath.
Oh yeah, that's right, the bath. What should I do first? Should I eat first? Should I take a bath first? But 15
Winchester just turns to Audrey and goes, "Why don't you double down, Miss Audrey, and eat in the bath?"
Oh, that is quite an interesting plan. I could do that. You know what? I'll give it a try. And I'm just gonna hop right out of the room. Oh, right. Do we need anything else before I go get some food? Mr. Room, would you like anything?
I will be fine. But I'm gonna follow her.
Right.
Go on.
Gonna follow her up, okay. So you guys grab your dinner. Yeah, there's some old. It's you guys have plenty of food to pick from: stew, sandwiches, roasts. But
Yeah.
someone's measuring.
Audrey's gonna get stew and bring it up to the bath as suggested.
So Audrey comes up, brings up like a plate of food to eat in a bath. You guys get ready for your night. You guys can pick which rooms you'd like to sleep in.
Yeah, sorry about the arrow. I'm measuring up the area she's webbing.
Okay. Did you want me to give you a web?
Heck yeah.
Just play the theme.
The game of trying to find the door to a room. There we go. This was.
Go to there it is. There's a room. This one, and we'll put the cot right over here.
So Effie sleeps
I
in her
realized-
giant spider web.
I need to
You know, I realized I probably should just use my lantern instead of getting a torch off the wall.
Probably. You guys all settle down for the night as you have a nice relaxing sleep to the sounds of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. As the night passes through and things seem to be going well. I mean, seems to be a very pleasant, uneventful night as you guys rest for your first day. As the sun starts opening up and the day's light starts coming through the skies and everything works well. The morning sun rises, and Darcy, as you awaken with your day from the sea, you open up with your arms stretched up as you look over there to find Effie leaning over top of you, spinning from above you, looking down right in your face.
Well, hello there.
He says while screaming internally.
Why? Why do you do this?
He's just spinning gently.
Good morning.
Morning there. How are you?
He said while still screaming internally.
I just wanted to make sure you're breathing okay. But you seem to
Breathing.
be doing all.
Breathing fine as ever.
Yes, I've been keeping an eye on you for the past hour. You're welcome.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Effie will go check the other rooms.
I need to buy a flask.
Effie goes checking on the other rooms. You just see Winchester snuggling down on his bed, kind of having his, wearing an old-fashioned nightcap and nightgown dress style thing, British style, like Scrooge.
Oh, you mean like Barrick did that one time?
Yeah, like Barrick did the one
Yes.
time. His big belly kind of sticking out. As he's...
With each and every person, Effie's just gonna like hover over them, like her long black hair just kind of slightly tickling their face.
God, why do you do this?
As you do so with Winchester, you just hear this. And as your hair gets blown back by the majestically massive sneeze as a hippo man, he opens up his eyes and goes, "Oh, Miss Effie, can I help you with something? What?
Bless you.
And she turns and walks away to the next
That is a rather strange little girl. What?
Darcy will start walking out of his room.
Audrey,
Just to see her.
as you
Walk
wake
by.
up, Audrey and Mirren, you guys heard the sneeze, like that, like rattled the building. as Effie kind of wanders into Audrey's room and starts on the ceiling, you guys wake up to see Effie over top of your ceiling looking at you.
Good
Audrey,
morning.
she, as soon as she heard the sneeze, she just kind of jolts awake and accidentally bumps Effie in the head as she jolts up from her bed.
Ow!
Oh, goodness, sorry. Oh, Miss Effie, good morning. Oh,
Oh, good morning to you. Oh,
what was that? Noise? Was that our alarm? Is that a complimentary thing in the morning at 10?
Winchester sneezed.
Oh, bless you!
Oh, I already.
Thank you! What?
Are you here to check on all of us to make sure that we're doing well?
Oh, yes. I just want to be sure you're not dead.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it very immensely.
Oh, that makes me very happy. I'll make sure to do it every night.
Oh, thank you, our little alarm clock. Oh, lovely, by the way.
I hope you're enjoying this, by the way.
I think we all are.
I'm glad.
How is who?
How are you? How was yours?
Oh, my sleep was rather pleasant. It's always pleasant to sleep in a nice, warm, wet.
I haven't experienced that, but I imagine it's actually really pleasant.
Would you like to try someday?
I would. Maybe Miss Miriam would like to give it a try as well.
I would not.
Or not.
Then
How was your sleep, Miss Miriam?
Satisfactory.
Was your cot, was it comfortable for you? I know you said you've had...
She was like just
Work
sitting on the
situations.
cot, like never like actually bedded down in it. Just sat
Oh.
in it and slept. Slept in like a sitting position. It was fine.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your sleep either way. Now, what would you say, Miss Effie?
Oh, I was just saying that for the next night I can web you and string you up.
That sounds very intriguing. I do love to try it. Alright, next night.
Okay, I usually do this to my food, but I won't eat you, I promise.
Alright, now do be careful. Please don't shoot me. After all, I don't want you to, get to Miss Miriam's ire after all.
Oh no, you are very pleasant. I would never.
And you are pleasant yourself, my dear. Now, have you seen my glasses? I'm sure that I put them right over here. And she's kind of patting around. Her hair is like a mess, by the way. Like, she sleeps like a starfish.
Effie will look around for her glasses.
Sure, for fun, roll me a perception check.
I'll also just check.
I'm already in the bar.
A mimosa at this hour?
Breakfast
Yeah,
mimosas.
mimosa's the morning drink. Yeah. That's how you
Mimo-
know you've made is when you have morning drinks.
I
Hey,
guess.
Miriam, you look around and you very clearly see the glasses, like, right by Audrey, who keeps missing them as Audrey keeps patting down around. You have a feeling
Yeah,
Audrey,
very-
without her glasses, can't see very well.
Very Velma-esque.
I know
My
that feeling.
glasses. Where are my glasses?
I'll,
I don't.
if she fumbles around for him, I'll pick him up and hand him to Audrey.
Oh, there they are. Thank you, Miss Miriam. Ah, I can see again. Oh, and it is a nice morning. Oh, goodness, you really are high up on there, aren't you?
Oh yes. Do you need your hair brushed? It's rather messy.
Is it? Oh, goodness, yeah, it tends to be that way. It's either singed, sometimes on fire. You know, last time, when I first met Miss Miriam, I actually combusted a bit of the labs. I had thrown a firebolt and it accidentally exploded a little bit on me.
Is that a yes?
Yes, please. If you don't mind.
Effie will make her way down and start carting her fingers through her hair.
Oh, this was so pleasant. I could fall back.
Oh, there she goes. Sleep undefenseless.
I just glare at Effie.
Why did you make the legitimately, like, I've never been so scared of a character before. Like, Freddy Krueger, Jason, psh, get those chumps out of here. Effie,
What are you talking about? I'd have her at a sleepover any day.
you are insane.
It's the sweet little girl from The Ring as the spider monster. What could be more wholesome?
Who just
Nope,
wants to
nope.
comb her friend's hair?
Exactly. And also feeling Miriam's glare, Effie looks over at her, gives her a small smile, and continues what she's doing.
As you continue, Winchester, now fully dressed with his typical military coat, walks by the room, sees Effie combing Audrey's hair, goes, that's a thing you see every day. What?
Do I just pass him on my way to the bar?
Yeah, so you do, as you both get dressed.
The bar?
Yes, I definitely could use a drink this morning. What?
I pat him on the shoulder, and I'm sure we just walk merrily down the stairs to the bar.
Yeah, as you and Winchester go to good breakfast in a bar.
And meanwhile, they're going down the stairs. Audrey suddenly jolts up again. Just equals MC square! Alright, it's morning. What was I
I've
doing
been
again?
that
Oh, yeah.
range before.
Sorry, say that again. I am still waking up.
Well, your hair is all done. Shall we make our way downstairs?
Is that so? Is it nicely brushed? And Audrey will get up, look at is there a mirror in the room?
Yeah, there's a mirror.
Yep.
She will
Oh,
check
I
the
think it's a
mirror.
Miriam.
No, mirror in the room. She will go to the nearest mirror and gasp in delight, see that her hair is all nicely combed. Oh, it's beautiful, wonderful. Thank you so much. It'd be a shame to put it up, so I'll tie it up later. I wouldn't want to get rid of all the hard work. Are you ready to go, Miss Miriam?
Chris, you there?
Oh, sorry. I thought we said mirror this time.
Is the
sorry,
mirror ready to go?
Yes. I'm just ready to go.
Alright, let's head out! Alright, I'm in my pajamas. That is not appropriate. And Audrey has like frozen half step out of the room, goes right back in. Right, time to dress up, and she's not even gonna bother with like trying to hide herself. She's just gonna straight up just start undressing, putting her stuff on. All right, let's go.
Effie doesn't bat an eye, just follows.
Yeah, isn't about the same.
Yes. You're with a spider woman and a female kobold. I'm pretty sure the human female form means very little.
It's nothing. It's fine. After all, we all know what the human anatomy looks like.
But do you know what the
Wait,
GIF
what's that?
humanity looks like? Anyway, so you guys head down
Wait.
for your...
I just
What?
realized something.
Yes.
Not counting Mr. Winchester, but you know he should be counted. But not counting Mr. Winchester, I am the only actual male in the party.
This is the total
Yeah.
opposite of our other party.
You're not wrong.
You get to be the 6th of the group.
Hey!
Yay! Well,
Except
technically,
for not
Congratulations!
you would have had a genderless robot with you if Dylan had been able
So
to
the only
make it.
male in the party.
Yep, you would have been the only male. Well, you got
Oh,
Winchester,
God.
technically. You have your NPC male.
Yeah, you know, I got a bro. I just realized
Yeah,
I don't
bro.
have a bro if he goes away.
You got a hippo, bro.
I got a hippo bro. That's a
You got a
pretty good
hip
bro.
roll.
Also, as soon as we get downstairs, Effie's gonna make a beeline for the bartender and hold out her hands and say,
Cake, please.
Okay. As he walks it back into the cold room, where you see that his cheesecake had been settling over the night, as he pulls out a piece and goes, a bit sweet for breakfast, isn't it?
Oh no, it's wonderful. I shall have it all the time.
You do realize that you're not gonna get all the nutrients you need out of that, right? Like, you're missing some vitamins in there.
Oh, I'm sure we'll still come across animals and bugs and people.
You know, why don't you try this and I just pass her a carrot? You can make a cake out of that too if you try hard enough.
Ooh, carrot cake is rather delightful.
Isn't it? Especially if you get it all nice and moist.
Exactly, as long as you don't add too much oil, just a little bit amount of sugar. It's wonderful.
Effie takes a bite, purses her lips, sets it down, and goes back to the cake.
Not
Perhaps
the
I should try
vegetable
making
type.
a carrot cake for tomorrow's dinner, friend. So Hops goes back to serving people, frying up sausages and eggs, and general breakfast food with porridge and...
Audrey will order 2 plates, one for her and one for Miriam.
You notice that Winchester's eating a nice Kipper's breakfast.
I'll have a nice...
breakfast.
Fried
It's a
Kippers?
fish.
It's little fish. It's a very British
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, okay.
I will mirror him on that one and actually get fish for breakfast.
And you and Winchester, the hippo bro, and Darcy have it's actually kind of funny that you two are together for more reasons than one. Darcy, Michael knows what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
as
Listen,
you
it's funny just to see the human and the hippo man just like sitting next to each other, eating the same thing, having a good conversation.
yeah,
Considering also the height difference too. Is
Oh
just-
no, like this guy's just monster. Can you draw that? That would be hilarious.
well, consider Winchester's 8 feet tall.
And I'm a short guy. I'm like 5'6".
Yeah,
Oh, so he's just seated really small between these two giants.
Zeffy's on the other
Oh
side.
god, now I feel short. Like, I don't feel. Listen, here's the thing. I don't feel short when I'm standing next to someone who's tall, but when I got 2 people who are tall, I feel short.
If it helps, Audrey is good. I had her at 5'4", so just 2 inches under her. That's something.
You're bigger than Miriam.
You know, I'll always have that.
3'2".
3'2".
Darcy always stands next to Miriam so he can feel tall.
Yeah, that's just like, you're my friend. You're my bro.
So as you guys eat your breakfast and get yourselves together, since we're splitting up, where do we want to start today?
Goddamn splitting the party.
I know.
It's the best way to gather information.
It is dangerous.
Rock, paper,
the only-
scissors.
All right, well, let's just roll a d3 for it. There's 3 groups, so we'll just roll. One of us will roll a d3.
Cool. Actually,
Yeah, but
Oh,
who's who,
one.
though, Darcy? Rolling a d3's not gonna help until you figure out who's which number.
Oh,
Audrey is 1.
All right, so I guess that
I'll be
means
2.
Winchester. Yeah, okay, and then I'll be 3.
Okay. So we start
Sorry
with
about that.
Darcy, and then we'll do Zaku, and we'll finish with Winchester and Effie. So Darcy, what were you doing for your split?
I'm just gonna see if I can't get back to the fella I talked to before. Now that I've got a bit more, then I got a few more questions for him.
Okay. Darcy, you have an interesting time as you wander out to the streets to go find your person you had spoke to before. In the area you get to, you discover something rather unpleasant seems to be going on this morning in that area. You see a bunch of guardsmen gathered around.
I kind of throw my hood up and just kind of get around what's going on.
Do you ask anybody, or you just try to take a look? You see a small crowd is starting to gather, I should say, as the guardsmen are looking about.
All right, yeah, I'll kind of like get to the back of the crowd and just kind of start asking you, just trying to peek over, like see what's going on.
As you go there, you find like a large lizard man going on. He goes, "My friend."
Oh, you got it there first.
Oh, sorry. You come up to a large lizard man in the back of the crowd who's kind of like looming over everybody as you ask him. He turns. He just goes, "There was a murder last night."
Murder? That's murder?
That's right, a murder. Apparently, someone was out wandering the streets and was clubbed to death.
Do they have any idea who... Sorry, I keep looking at them. Do you have any idea who did it? What's going on here? Like, details.
Well, I'm not exactly a guardsman, so I don't know exactly what's going on. All the only thing we're aware of is apparently it was possibly one of the... Well, I suspect it was a kid, but it seems to be a member of the Thieves Guild was killed, is my guess. Probably
Really?
warfare. Fucking...
Isn't there only just one gang in town, though? I thought it was just the rats.
The Rat Snakes Guild's are the main guild, but there's always young up-and-comers trying to take in their territory after all.
Fair. Can I tell if it was the guy I was talking to before?
Roll me a perception check.
Yeah, boy. Perception.
Squeakies. Oh, he sees
Well,
nothing.
you can't even see the body at all. There's so many people in the way. The guards are kind of pushing people away. You have no idea who the person could be.
Can I just kind of ask people, like, in the front, like, hey, did you see who was lying there? Like, what it looked like?
Sure, you go around and you ask a few people. Most people don't really get a base description. All you know is that it was a human. Probably, youngish. Doesn't sound like the guy you were interviewing.
Like, are the police asking, like, are people asking these questions? Is that a thing around here?
You could go approach and talk to a guard if you'd wish to, yes?
Sure, I'll approach a guard.
Okay. You approach one of the tabaxi guards, and he looks as you approach and goes, "What is it you wish, citizen?"
I'm sorry, I'm just curious. What happened here?
He looks down, and at this point, when you get close, "There was a murder last night."
Murdered? Oh, who was murdered? Like, I'm sorry, I should probably introduce myself. Jericho Fondo. I'm a bit of a traveling investor. So if you wouldn't mind helping me assess the area of this area. Is this a common occurrence here, murders?
They occasionally happen. This is the slummier part of the city, but this one was a bit more strange than we would expect. Most murders are robberies. Whoever killed this person didn't take a thing off of him. That's all
Really?
we know at the moment.
Well, as an investor of sorts, I've kind of learned, sort of like why, people's motivations behind things. I'm a bit of a, as they say, sleuth myself. Would you mind if I took a look at the body? So I may be of assistance. I hate to just see this go. I hate to see that, I'm sure you fine guards are capable. I'm certain, but I always like to help out if I can.
You said you were what again, sir?
An investment. I'm an investment seeker. Just sort of a few things that.
So you often do crime scenes and look for dead bodies as an investor? What sort of businesses do you run, sir? He kind of gives you a arched eyebrow.
Well, you see, I seek out prime locations to set up private investigative office. It's quite exciting, actually.
Roll me a
Oh
persuasion.
no! This time I'm purposely slipping into Varric.
Yeah, roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion, you say?
Okay, he looks you up and down, kind of rubs himself. I suppose it couldn't hurt anything, but do not touch the body.
Aye, of course.
But not touch. So he leads you through where several guards are kind of looking over the body and been rifling through stuff and looking over. At a quick glance, you see that it's about a youngish to young person, or youngish, about, late 20s, early 30s looking man. His head was kind of bludgeoned and bashed in by the looks of it.
Hold on, I'm writing all this down. You said late 20s to 30s?
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s. Sandy brown hair. It's a human. You do notice that, again, with just a quick glance, you kind of look around. You can tell that he's moderately dressed, neither rich nor poor. You'd peg him as middle class in this society. At a quick glance, and you do see that, as he did say, he has a coin pouch still tied to his side.
So he wasn't robbed. Is his neck exposed by perchance? I was told to look at the neck. Are there bite marks on it?
Roll me a perception check.
Perception, you say?
Yeah, because you're looking for something very specific if you're doing what you're obviously looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look around, you can't see anything that would indicate bite marks anywhere.
Alright. Gonna kind of look around. Are there any sort of signs that he could be associated with any sort of gang?
Yeah, judging by the open area, and it's been hours since the murders occurred. You can't really say anything that would indicate a gang membership.
Like tattoos, certain article of clothing, that sort of thing.
Yeah, roll me an investigation.
8.
You have a hard time kind of looking over. Nothing that you know of that would lead him to be some sort of gang that you know of, at least. You do notice, though, just out of the corner of your eye, something kind of odd. It seemed to have just been one thing, but you see, kind of looks to be like a vial, and that's just kind of tucked under his hand.
Are the guards looking at me very intently while I'm investigating the body?
They're also investigating the body, so yes, they're watching you. you're a stranger looking at a dead body at their crime scene. They're keeping an eye on you.
Fair enough. I'm just gonna kind of tap the guy who led me here on the shoulder and just be like, I think he has something underneath his hand. You remove it for me as I push the bottle.
He looks a little well aware of the bottle, sir. Yes. From what we can gather, it seems to be, well, a local street drug.
Which drug in particular?
One of the few ones the Emperor himself says is illegal throughout the Empire. He believes it was Mercury's Rush.
Well, I don't know anything of that.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say you, given your background, you know what Mercury's Rush is. It's one of the god drugs. They're all very illegal within the Empire, though within each city, the punishment for having said drug varies from imprisonment, fines, to even execution in some cities. They're highly addictive, but can grant really strong powers when consumed.
I will, what's the punishment here for that sort of drug?
Roll me a history just to see if you would know.
Okay.
In fact, I will show you the name of all the drugs for everybody. This is kind of common knowledge throughout the Empire. It's under magic items for anybody who wants to read the list of drugs and their effects.
Drugs. Yeah. Alright.
Okay, you are aware that in this city, it's a very minor thing to have it caught in this city. The Sultan does not discourage the use of these drugs. Some say, especially since he's been in charge, it used to be a little more severe. It's just a fine to be caught with it here.
Alright. And I'm just gonna look at him like, do we have any idea what sort of gang he may have been affiliated?
We're not
So
sure
that's-
he's even part of a gang, sir.
Seems rather odd to be drug deal gone. What about you? Those shady types, they typically like to go up.
If it was a drug deal gone wrong, I don't see why they would have left the purse behind.
That's fair. Probably a hit of. Maybe he dealer started getting up to the wrong turf, speak, and back off.
Maybe. Judging from what I can see, it looks like a crime of passion, perhaps. He says, you can tell for the simple sake that the head was bashed in several times, well after the victim was dead.
Could be a possible. It could also be sending a message.
Could be, this is true.
Alright. Do I notice anything else strange about the body or the crime scene in general? Maybe tracks or something like that?
And given your perception and your investigation, no, you don't notice anything else.
Yeah, I figured I'd ask anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I was generous giving you the bottle with an 8.
Yeah, I know you were. I don't know why I asked to do this. This isn't my strong suit.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so you were there, and we'll say that takes up a thing. You find that with this area, as a lockdown with the murder, you figure you're not going to be able to find the guy you found the day before with the area in as turmoil as it is. So with that, we will continue on to the library. The library!
Yay! Alright,
like libraries.
so, Audrey's gonna...
Oh, one
Lead
moment.
the way.
Audrey moves over to the library.
Moving over, and... Ooh, wow. Meow! This is cute music. Audrey steps in, super excitedly. She's like, oh, I've never been to the library. There's shelves in here, there's genres, some sport. They also have fiction, there's literature, and science. Right, I was here to investigate. would Audrey understand library systems well enough that she would know where to, like, how to read the labels?
Oh yeah, you're given your backstory. You are well aware how libraries work. As you look over at the Tabaxi head librarian, as you two enter the store, is very proper-looking Redford Tabaxi. Give you a picture of him wearing his glasses.
So smart. Audrey will just
good evening, my madam and madams. Can I help you?
Oh, hello. We're just doing a little bit of fun. Do you have a section on near mythical races and?
Oh, of course. We have many in the back. You looking for something specific?
Yes. Do you actually? Then she kind of leans in. Do you actually have anything on them? And she kind of waggles her brows. You know, just kind of clearly very excited to learn about this race, but not particularly for the investigation itself.
Ah, you're interested in looking about the necromantic creatures, are we?
Yes, they're very interesting. See, I'm a researcher for Elstree, and the library was basically my home. Longest time, I would spend hours and hours over there. And
at the mention of Owl's Tree, you'd see the librarian's eyes kind of light up. Like, you come from Owl's Tree. That's where one of the greatest libraries in the Empire comes from. That's fascinating.
I know that the place is so large. They have 3 stories high. Take ladders upon ladders. And honestly, I don't think we even have enough lifespans. Definitely not humans have enough lifespan to read all the books there, even though I would love to.
It's something I've always wanted to see. I've been collecting money ever since I was a small kitten to go visit there.
You should definitely check it out. You know what? She... Do you have a little... actually, no. Would you have business cards on her? Is that a thing?
Sure, yeah. Why not?
As a professional researcher now, she pats through her pockets, finds one of her other notebooks, and pulls out a card. Here. So I'm from the university, and if you ever want some quick access there, since you know the library there is absolutely wonderful. Honestly, it is of course free for anyone to look through. But if you wanted just a little heads up, tell them that Audrey Crowley has sent you, and that you are good friends, and that you just want to research anything that you can in there.
Oh, thank you very much, Miss Godley. I will look very forward to it. By the way, my name is Tom of Secrets, and if you need any assistance, feel free to ask me.
Tom of Secrets, the library, and she's writing down these notes. Red Bugs, you're very charming, wants to see Yes, we will most likely be needing a little bit of aid later, but I suppose for now we'll just check out that general area. Oh, and also, do you have any books on the arcane and just within that area of that not exactly necromancy, but just general magic books?
We do have a selection of fine arcane books in the back as well. Yes. Please let me assist you in looking for them.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. Monsieur, come along.
No,
and
Chris
Audrey
is muted, so...
I follow him. Sorry, I was muting because of my dog.
Oh yeah, no worries. As you walk past and he shows you past the back, just for fun, you also hear 2 kids standing at the library, a little goblin boy and a tabaxi girl. Just for fun, I will show you the pictures of them. Little goblin boy. As you hear them walk past, he goes, "It's the latest fashion ninja!" He goes, Yes, there it is, look here. Yeah! I can't wait to lead the weirdest adventures of Mr. Greenwood. You're gonna weird it to me, right, big sis? Of course. These are always fascinating novels.
Audrey will just kind of take... As she's walking, she just kind of... Her legs are still moving forward, but her back is starting to like lean back, and she just kind of a little bit eavesdrops. It's so wonderful. and just kind of, she wants to look a little more, but she's trying to be inconspicuous, but doing a very bad case of trying to be.
You know what? Fun. Roll me a stealth check at disadvantage because I want to see how this goes.
God. Pull up my sheet. Stealth.
Okay. At disadvantage though because you're kind of.
Oh wait.
So just roll again.
Disadvantage, and then we go 14.
It's like, you're looking fairly thin. You're not too obtuse, like standing over them, but you do see the Tabaxi girl kind of notice you after a few minutes and goes, "Excuse me, miss, can I help you?"
Oh, goodness, so sorry. I was just curious. What is that book you're reading? And, 2 siblings?
Yes, he's my little adopted brother.
Oh, very wonderful. And she kind of squats down to and kind of almost looks like her eyes are aglow. She doesn't seem bad intentions, and I'm squatting right now in her position in my chair.
Well, if you're looking for the book we're talking about, it's the latest Mint Greenwood adventure.
Miss Greenwood. Does that
Yes.
a good author?
It's the author's not called Mint Greenwood, actually. He's the hero of the adventure. The author's actually his cousin.
Let me see. This is an actual superhero?
Yes. Yeah. He's the goblin. He's the goblin gunslinger of the West who shows that goblins can be good guys too.
I can see that. Is that your role model?
Yeah. He does like little finger bangs.
Audrey will pretend to be hit by the finger bangs. Me.
What you do see though is he does show you a picture of the. There is a picture of the on the cover. What you see is like this. The name of the book is called "The Good, the Bad, and the Green."
Of course it is.
I love it.
And you see this a small kind of rough and tumbled goblin in a dirty black coat duster, in a hin with a kind of a 6-shooter in his chest and kind of this cigar smoke kind of going out of his mouth. So give me 1 second.
Kovacs reincarnated.
This guy.
I love him.
Audrey is more
And
than
on the back,
excited.
it's The Adventures of Mint Greenwood, as told by his faithful cousin, Bernardo Underhill. And there's a picture of Bernardo. What you see is a very odd-looking halfling dressed up in what would be considered Mexican garb. Traditional, sombrero hat and a poncho.
Oh, I would definitely have to check this out later. It looks like a wonderful read to have in bed. Oh, thank you so much. And what are your names? My name is Audrey Cowley. It's a pleasure to meet you.
This is my little brother, Glib. And
Hello.
I am Sapphire.
And Sapphire.
So you can call me
A
Soft.
sapphire? A sapphire.
Oh, Sapphire.
Soft fur.
Fur.
Sapphire. Oh, Fern! It's very nice to meet you both, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your story. We're looking at a little bit of storytelling.
Thank you, miss.
Of course. Well, you two have a good day. I probably shouldn't get distracted anymore. I can already see Miriam staring at me. Alright, goodbye!
You're not wrong.
So wait, what was the book called again?
The Good, the Bad, and the
Green.
Green.
Greenwood, The Adventures of, yeah.
Yeah, The
Wait, no,
Adventures
the
of Mint
character.
Greenwood. It's The
Mint
Adventures of
Greenwood.
Mint Greenwood. Out of, just so you guys know, I've actually written that, so if anybody's interested.
No,
God.
thank you.
Amazing!
I'll burn this library down so no copies of it remain.
You're just making it more rare and more collectible, sir.
You can also see various other works in the back of the book called The Dead Eye of the Beholder.
Oh
This roll is going to be all puns, isn't it?
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of puns in it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
God. The more you can make Chris groan, the more successful it'll be. But anyways, Audrey's gonna look for Tome, who probably was like, where the fuck did this lady go? And be like, oh, sorry, Mr. Tome. All right. Yes, to the back of the library.
I follow, of course.
So yeah, you guys head to the back of the library. As you guys wander in there, you head to the back where Tome takes up there and brings you several books and about the various vampiric nature books. These are some of the books of the evidence we still have on information based off of the undead. It's been a while since we've had any, but most of them are historical, or accounts of the Greystone lands.
I see. Well, any of these would help. Is there, actually, is there a census? Do you know of any vampires that also live here? Is it possible? I know that a lot.
Are you asking me if vampires live in the city?
Yes.
He kind of raises an eyebrow at you. Goes, Miss Audrey, vampires have been extinct in the Empire for almost 1,000 years.
Have they?
They're horrific, blood-sucking monsters. The Emperor kind of got rid of them.
I really hope that Tome is the vampire.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, the red clothes, think about it.
To start.
If he's color-coded wrong, he's gonna die.
Anyone wearing red in this city is gonna be dead by the afternoon.
Said so by Mr. Mint Greenwood. Would Audrey, like, oh wait, no, she already did a vampire history roll. Oh, I see, Well, you know what, this is just fun research.
So roll me an investigation for seeing how much information you gather for vampires, if that's what you're here for.
I'll aid on that.
Okay.
Would that be?
Are you proficient with investigation, Chris? Or
actually I'm not. I thought I did, but I don't.
Okay, you can make a separate roll yourself, but you can't assist.
Nice.
So, and you can roll yours as well, Audrey.
21.
Okay. Well,
Nice.
you two are
day's going well.
killing a storm of research, you two, as you guys discover everything you need to know about vampires with these books you are given. Specifics, you are told of the immortal vampire race as the bite of a vampire creates more vampires, but to become a full-blooded vampire, not just to spawn, you also have to drink their blood as well. Vampires cannot stand the sunlight, will die from it. A vampire can only be killed by sunlight. Anything else will just turn to mist, where they will flee back to their tomb, where they will be revived. Magical sunlight also works against them to kill. You find out vampires have the ability to regenerate every second unless they are hit by divine magics. You also discover that, as you said, it's been 1,000 years since any living vampire has been seen within the Empire's borders. Though there have been sightings of them still in they are still predominantly in the Greystone lands, and there have been other kingdoms sighting them occasionally. Though even in the other kingdoms, they have been nearly hunted down to nothingness.
Can't only be killed. Sun. What was bleed sunlight or magic sunlight?
Either sunlight.
Either
magical or
type.
normal. Yeah.
Magical. Right. Well, Miss Mira, I think we've got enough information, but we do need to investigate as well Any possible other spell could have happened here? Shall we check the next section?
What are you? Sorry, what else are you looking to look for?
So they... Any types of magics that could have been used in this scenario. So,
Other
like,
than that,
hypnotism, or...
Other, like, you mean like other? Okay, yeah, I get what you're looking for then.
Just like, and like, they have no idea what's been used, so they're just trying to figure out any other.
Yeah. Sure, we can.
In onto bookshelf number 2. Would we be allowed to
so
go
what are you
first?
looking for specifically, Audrey?
She's going to look for, low to like a, I guess you could call it invisible magics, where it's like you can't detect it, unlike charms, you know? So like
Okay, so you're
hypnotism-
looking for types of spells that would be able to elude detection. Is that...
Yeah.
Okay, roll me another investigation, and Miriam, you can roll your separate one as well to... Oh, wow. So Audrey, you can roll again. Audrey, you're having a little trouble, but thanks to Miriam's help, you guys are able to tell me... there are some ways of masking magic, though it's not another type of spell that does it. Magical item charms can sometimes disrupt the detection of magic. There are rings that have been used that if you wear would make it look like you are no longer under the illusion spell, would be unable to detect an illusion spell. And you theorize that it could be possible that if someone was memorized and wore one of these rings, you wouldn't be able to detect they were magically induced by a charm spell. They're expensive and rare, and only detects with the magic. You also deduce that it would, though, make it that the magic is undetectable. It still wouldn't give away the other tells, such as being the personality could still be off and such as well. But there are ways to disguise magic, though they are very expensive and not by any means normally common.
I'm not getting anything out of here. Do you have any luck, Miss?
Seems there are ways that they could be hid from us, though expensive and uncommon they are. I kind of like to show her through what I found.
Nadri will lean over and take a quick read over that Miriam is holding. I see, and she's writing down notes. So magical item. Given that whoever is taking they're taking them from higher stake places, higher security, so most likely they are going to have some means to these. They could have means to this sort of items. I mean, if they're stealing people, what more with money, right?
Potentially, we know that more than likely hypnotism is on the right route, though.
Well, I'm not sure what we would go to learn about hypnotism. Would you know anything about it?
Would I know anything about it?
Roll me an Arcana at disadvantage.
Sure.
I'll give you a roll at it.
18!
Okay, wow!
Damn!
Oddly enough, given what you are and what you are as tendencies, you know a bit about hypnotism. Magical hypnotism is definitely a thing. There are creatures and monsters that use it. Usually gives away signs of tells again. Hypnotism isn't a perfect art for it. Usually there's tells that a person's been hypnotized. Sometimes the glazed look in the eye, odd familiar habits. They look like there's someone taking orders. Only the most powerful of... sorry, I'll say one thing. You would also know with an 18, only the most powerful of enchanters would be able to make a hypnotism without a lot of physical tells.
Okay.
So it's possible, but you're looking at
Very
high mag.
unlikely.
Yeah, very unlikely. You're looking at like, to give you a meta version, you're looking at like 8th to 9th level spellcasting ability.
I kind of relay that to Audrey. It's like, more than likely they are merely using the base level hypnotism vampires are known for and not relying on other magics.
Well, I suppose the glazed look such would make sense. Night and, the gold hand nephew seem to be out of his usual sorts. However, what still baffles me is delayed response. And as much as I wouldn't want to suspect anything terrible among family, well, there's one magic caster in that house, but the thing is, this is happening at other people's houses as well, and I'm fairly certain that even the lower class that have been taken away would have such magical means in order to hypnotize the family. Oh, this is so peculiar. Well, is there anything else that you think we should investigate while we're here? We do have a plethora of information at your disposal.
Not within the libraries. Nothing I think I would find useful here.
What would you find useful then?
Locations of people recently entering into the city. People that recently joined in despite not having financial backing. Oddities and such.
Well, I would think that the guards here and the watch house, they might have some sort of record of this, you think?
Potentially, though I'm not sure if they would give it to us.
That is true, though we are under orders from ourselves. We do have the right paper. It could be a short. Where else do you think that we could look? Are we going underground?
I do not think so.
Alright, well, guess, Audrey will look around. Is there any window where she can tell what time it is?
You guys are getting close, so you have to start returning, given all your research time.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose maybe we'll back. Maybe take a look at that next.
Very well.
Right, well, it is a travel, so we might as well start heading back to the right?
Very well.
Right, let's go! And Audrey will lead the way. She will wave to the kids if they're still there. Goodbye! I hope you enjoyed your book, and goodbye, Mr. Tome. I hope to see you again. And I do hope that you get to see the Albury Library soon.
Thank you very much, miss. And he gives you like a salam kind of bow.
She will imitate that and give him a bow as well.
Okay.
And they're gonna head back to the paw and wait for the time.
Okay, as you guys make your way back, now we're back to Effie and Winchester.
Yay!
So, Effie, what are you planning on doing with Winchester leading you to the places you need to go?
She is following behind him, but also just kind of very curiously watching all the people and shops we pass by with their hands clasped in front of her.
So, Miss Effie, Miss Effie, you were speaking about going to the, speaking of certain spiders and rats, yes, what?
Oh, yes. I would most like to speak with spiders, but if there are rats, I can do that too.
Well, I suppose I could take you to one of the places where some of the local people have been taken, perhaps. Let's see.
Oh, yes.
What do you think we should start with there, Miss Effie? Perhaps where the first people were taken, or some of the last people taken?
Well, a spider's memory can be a little fickle sometimes, so perhaps the most recent one.
Sounds like a plan. And he takes you to one of the richer districts. Oddly enough, second to last person that was taken actually was Golden Hand's nephew. The last person that was taken was in a smaller, noble area, but he was last seen at the bazaar. So,
All right.
you guys make your way down to the local bazaar, where you see, of course, many people shopping and moving around, going to buy and sell goods and items. Walking around, you take a peek. You get a few looks from various people in areas. As you see, the random people around gathered about.
Anyone she catches staring, she just gives this like unnerving smile towards them and continues on.
So you give a bunch of unnerving smiles to a bunch of different people as they look at you at this shop. Where you see basically people of every various sort selling various items and goods. So you're looking specifically for spider webs, correct? Or spiders around here. You would have seen the possible disappearance.
Yes, so like little either dark corners of stalls or just little hidey hole places that spiders would be easily.
Sure. Roll me a survival check to see if you can find some spiders. Well, with an at 20, you definitely find some spiders.
Damn. Why is everyone getting good rolls but me?
I got good rules, but I didn't learn anything.
You do find like some spiders underneath, let's say this stall here that's selling like swords and farming tools.
Alrighty, then she will crouch down to them and cast Speak with Animals. And she will say,
Hello there, little friend.
You just hear this, hello, big spider lady.
I'm so sorry to bother you when you must be looking for delicious prey to prey on at this time of day. But I have a few questions I would like to ask.
Just link me Speak with Animals. I want to check something with it.
alright.
God, I want to get the 6th level so bad.
The can verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. Fair enough, it just says L beast. So as you're speaking with the little spider, because I can't help but do this, you look over and you see what looks to be a fly and it goes, help me! Help me!
Why? Why do you do this?
Is it on one of the spider's web?
Yeah, it's stuck
It's
on
the
web.
Emperor's New Groove. We've seen it.
I know.
Actually, technically, that's from the movie, the Fly Woman. But yes, that was a ripoff of another
Woman?
famous movie.
Effie looks at it, then back at the spiders, and is just like,
Oh, are you going to eat that?
Yep. Gonna be dinner tonight.
Very important to eat. It looks very nutritious. I hope you enjoy your meal.
I will. Did you want something?
Oh, yes.
Effie will turn to I keep forgetting his name.
Winchester?
Winchester.
Yeah, and say,
By the way, what did this person that went missing look like?
Well, according to the local authorities, from when I spoke to them last, he was a rather fat merchant wearing fine silken robes, and apparently was one of the more wealthy sellers around here. A bit plumper, a bit fat, with a big beard.
Okay.
she'll turn back to the spiders and say,
Well, a number of days ago, a plump man with a large beard, finely dressed, working at one of the stalls here, supposedly disappeared. Have you happened to see what happened to him?
The spider kind of looks up and kind of like gives it like an odd, multi-eyed look upwards. You see how like its 100 eyes kind of roll up in thought. He goes, yeah, I think I saw something like that. it was a couple days ago. It was strange, man. I remember specifically because one of my webs got ruined earlier.
And do you remember what happened to him?
As I recall, what happened was a rat ran by, broke my web, ran up to the man, and then the man walked away.
This person that I described walked into your web and walked away?
Yeah, the rat ran in through the web when he went to the man.
Are you saying rat?
Rat,
Yes.
R-A-T, yes.
Rat.
A rat ran past, breaking the spider's web, and then ran towards the merchant. And then the merchant walked away.
Alrighty. Effie will think for a moment, kind of tap her chin, and then lean in close again and say,
And after this rat ran into him, did you see the rat again?
The rat did not seem to go the other way. But the rat didn't look healthy.
And how did the man look after the rat went the other way?
Hard to say. All big people look kind of similar to me.
Oh, I think the same with all these little people I come across. Well, did you see what direction the rat disappeared to?
I didn't pay too close, but went through the wall to the north of the bazaar.
looking towards the north, what does the wall there look?
It's a basic wall. The bazaar is like a large wall enclosed circle with gates. One northern gate and one southern gate. There's kind of like small cracks in the wall here and there, big enough for small creatures that could probably sneak through.
Effie again will think and then say,
Were there any other... Well, what direction did the merchant begin to walk?
Merchant went south.
Was there anything else of interest that you spotted in regards to this rat and merchant?
Not much. Like I said, all I could tell was that the rat had bumps on him. And, excuse me, gotta get back to my lunch. And just walk him wandering over as he wanders over to the, like, freaking out spot fly and just sinks its teeth into it.
Oh, why?
And just, Effie, since you can actually understand what's happening, you just hear as it kind of, like, sucks it in like a straw.
Oh, why do you do this?
Effie gives like a little... Effie gives like a little clap of her hands and it's just like,
Oh, please do enjoy your meal.
By the way, nice thorax.
Oh, yours as well.
Do you guys just enjoy torturing me?
Just a little bit.
Effie's gonna stand up straight and look at Winchester and say,
So it seems that a rat bumped with the merchant, and sickly looking one with bumps all over it. It ran towards the north, and the merchant went towards the south. Perhaps we should see if we can find more clues where the rat went.
It's a very good idea, Outward. Should we investigate the northern wall then?
Oh yes, let's go look.
Very good. Okay, so you guys go towards the northern wall. Both of you can roll investigations. I'll have Winchester roll, and you can roll an investigation.
alrighty.
Oh, Winchester finds nothing. You were able to look around, and with that, you do look around, and you go to where the wall is, and you think you found out actually where it looked like the rat might have escaped. You see some scratch marks in the ground. You also see something very odd, a strange, almost like a pollen on the wall as you look closer.
A pollen?
Yeah.
Effie is going to look at Winchester and usher him over and say,
If you don't mind me asking, how good is your sense of smell?
It's not too bad, I suppose, but what?
Would you get a whiff of this?
and she gestures at the pollen.
Of course! And he gets his big hippo nose in there, and you see like this pollen as these massive nostrils just suck in all the air around him. You see, you look over there and you see like another little spider kind of like on the ground almost get pulled up to it with this big, huge sniff. And he goes,
She's intently watching him.
He goes, that is a very odd smell. Fungal in nature, I think.
She has her eyes just like looking straight at him for a couple of moments, just seeing if anything happens, and then it's just like,
Oh, that's good. I was hoping it wouldn't be poison or anything like that. That's good to know it isn't.
He looks at you, he's like, what?
Trust level gone down.
ignoring him, she just looks at the other jokes and tapping her chin again. She's like,
Strange. Well, what to do?
let me look. What can I do? One moment. So like, where it's smeared, it's just like pollen, kind of like on the rock, or is like it like a?
It's kind of like on the rock. It looks like a creature's. Best way to describe it, what it looks like, is if a creature had something on it that created pollen that kind of popped and kind of coated the wall very slightly.
Okay. And is it like a hole in the wall, or?
Yeah, it's like a crack in the wall, big enough for like a rat to get through.
Bending her head down and trying to peek in, does she see any?
Roll me a perception check. You back down there and you peek through the wall. You can see through the other side of it, and you do kind of see what looks like the street kind of runs down past it. In the distance, you do see various things, a couple buildings, sewer grates, a house or two. It's a little wide open to see anything past that, but that's what you can gather from a quick peek. Inside the wall, you can't really see anything specific.
So it looks like a pathway?
Yeah, it's through the wall, right? It's like a hole in the wall that goes all the way through, and then on the other side you can see what looks at the area.
Alright, Effie's gonna stand up straight, and point, to one in whichever direction it looks like you could go around, and it's just like,
Let us go check the other side of this building.
Very good. What? You guys walk through the north gate where you go to the other odd end of the wall where the hole is.
Yep, but she's gonna look down to where the other end is and look around along the ground, like kind of like crawling and not caring if she's getting in people's way. Does she spot any other smears of?
Roll me another perception check. You do notice a little bit of pollen on, like, just on the outside of the other side of the wall, but after a bit, you can't notice it in any kind of trackable direction after that, though.
Effie will look at... whoops, I accidentally minimized everything.
No.
Oh, there we go. Okay. She'll look at Winchester and say,
Do you still remember the smell of the pollen?
I suppose I do, yes. Wasn't that long ago.
Do you think you would be able to scent it in the air?
Kinda rubs his chin. I don't know, never tried before, but what? Let me give it a try. He goes, once again, you see his giant nostrils suck in all the air around him. Just, he's rolling good on these perception checks. He just, it's, I don't know if I can quite follow the scent, actually. A bit difficult to find what. I gather he kind of points direction a little further north. That way is the best I think I can do there, Effie.
Okay, let's look around that area.
Very good.
and as they're walking down in that direction, Effie's gonna... Is it like a pathway and there's like buildings on either side?
Yeah, it's like it's a street.
Effie will walk up along one of the walls and kind of walk sideways to get a more slightly aerial view.
Okay. Anything, you just doing that for a specific look, or are you doing that just to look creepy?
Doing that to see if she could spot any other little areas of pollen-looking stuff.
Okay, roll me another perception. Okay. You do see some more pollen. Just fucking DC 22, damn. You do see it right outside the sewer grating. You see another little smear of pollen.
I knew it! Sorry.
Effie will make her way down the wall and over towards the sewer grate, gesturing Winchester over.
What is it, Effie? It's the sewers.
It seems like these little rats are in the sewers, and whatever they're doing, it's causing people to go, well, wherever they're going.
It seems like a viable option, Effie. Do you think we should return to the others and report what we found, eh?
Oh yes, that sounds like a pleasant idea.
Jolly good, then. Let's head back to the inn, eh?
Oh yes, let us go.
And as we're walking back, actually, if we pass any places that looks like they're selling cakes, she's gonna try to make her way into one and buy one.
Oh yeah, there's a food merchant totally selling like donuts and cakes and cookies.
She only recognizes cakes, so she's gonna buy a cake and stuff it into her sack.
Okay, there's 5 cake. There's chocolate cake, carrot cake. You do see another cheesecake.
She'll get one the color of the hot chocolate, so she'll get the chocolate cake.
She gets a large chocolate cake from a from a tiefling man who hands it to. Goes, thank you very much, man. As you buy a large chocolate cake for a silver coin.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome. As Effie walks past with a large chocolate cake.
She smushes it into her bag.
Okay, so you guys make your way back to the soft paw pillow to reconnoiter and meet again.
So, how did everyone's day go? Did anyone find out anything interesting?
Well, who would like to go first?
Audrey, how about you? Find any good books while you're there?
Zaka, you're muted.
Right, I forgot. Oh yes, right. Well, let's see. We did look a bit of the, And she kind of leans and whispers, the vampire. And, we found some information on them. In general, it seems that for 1,000 years there have not been any in this town specifically, and really much in the Empire. There may be some still in the Greystone Lands, Effie's from. If they are in other kingdoms, they are hunted down nearly to, nearly extinct. So, the possibility that one here is very unlikely unless they are really good at hiding themselves. So it's about things about their biology. They can't be killed unless it's by sunlight, magical things or other. Those kind of things, and she kind of realized the general stuff that she learned through the we also looked at any other possible magical means that could have happened with people. We looked at Miss Miriam knew a little bit more about hypnotism, and like any other magic, unless you are an extremely powerful wielder, there are still going to be tells which seem to line up with our victim, but baffles us still is how they came to them in the first place. We're not quite sure. So we've got information, and we are hoping that, after reconvening, we could all take a look at least sightings of strange people that have come into town recently, document such, and the sneaky sorts.
Alright, anything else for you at the library?
I met these wonderful children. There this tabaxi girl and this little goblin boy, and it turns out, not goblin,
Here's the goblin boy.
It was a goblin.
Oh yeah, goblin. It was goblin. Cool. And this little goblin boy, and they're reading this book called The Good, the Bad, and the Green, and it's by this, it turns out it is maybe possibly a true story, and it's written by the cousin. And also, we've also found a really nice tabaxi person called...
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
The Good, the Bad, the Green.
Mm-hmm.
What was the story about? The Good, the Bad, the Green?
Oh, it's about this, the protagonist is called Mint Greenwood, and...
Mint Greenwood! I need to see Darcy just stand up, go like, the library, right?
Yes, at the library. Are you looking to read?
You just see him run out. He runs out the door with a fervor. He is gone. And then he just comes back into the room. It's just like, you're coming or what?
Where are we going?
To the library, of course.
I suppose so. I love going over there. So let's go.
Tell you who.
And Darcy will just start running towards the library.
If Audrey went, I'll also follow.
Effie stares there for a moment, just still kind of chewing away at her bag cake, and then it's just like,
Oh, I
Bag cake. Never wanted to hear that sentence.
looks over.
Oh, my alarm.
Looks over at Winchester, just like,
should we follow them?
I suppose so. What? Guys.
Well, it's not like we have important information anyway. Come along.
I'm so glad everyone's having fun.
I hate you.
Is this what you saw your life to look like, Miriam?
Miriam's already kind of like in a situation she doesn't want to be, and now there's this on top of it. It's like...
Obviously,
Darcy just
it's
crashes
only
through
more
the doors.
pleasant.
Darcy just crashes through the doors. He's like, looks at the guy. He's like, I heard you got the latest edition of The Adventures of Mint Greenwood.
Hello, Tom.
Hello. A friend of yours, Miss Crowley.
Yes. But it seems that, well, we saw some children earlier, and they were looking at a certain book, and I told my friend Darcy about it, and turned he just zipped right out of the one,
I just go up to the counter, I'm just like, please tell me I still got a copy of The Adventures of Nick Greenwood, the new one, the new issue! I've been waiting for this one!
Yes, I believe we still have at least one copy left, my friend.
I want it. Can I rent it, buy it? Can I buy it? Please tell me I can buy it.
I suppose we could sell you a copy, that'd be fine.
Alright, how much for the copy?
A silver coin.
Done!
So you get
Yeah,
a copy.
he throws out a silver.
He goes back and brings you back a copy of The Good, the Bad, and the Green.
Are you a collector, Mr. Darcy?
Not so much a collector, but oh my goodness! You have no idea how happy this has made me. I used to read these books all the time when I was a kid. I didn't get much of a chance to read many books when I was youngin'. But oh my goodness, when my mama brought in this book about this gnomish hero, a goblin hero who just came in with his guns blazing and using his wit and his smarts, and oh, I loved it. It was the only time I ever got a chance to really crack open a book and oh, it's
Goodness, I
oh my.
series.
I guess you might as well know the name of the first book is the one you would have read would have been called The Goblin with No Name.
Yep. I tell him all about it.
I love
It's one of my favorite series. Oh my goodness, I don't get a chance to read very often, but when I do, oh, The Adventures of Mint Greenwood. You're kidding me? It's one of the best written novels out there. And it's all true. I've heard about it. I've met people who've seen the goblin. I've seen the man. He's amazing. Oh my goodness, the rumors I've heard.
Written by his cousin, right?
Darcy,
So
you would know that it's written by his cousin Bernardo, who's his faithful sidekick companion and bard.
But his cousin not only writes his stories and chronicles their journeys, but he sings songs about him too. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Have you heard of the time he apparently came across the Iron Horseman?
You know, it's funny thing, of all books that I've read, I've yet to hear well, I mean, like, have I heard about this, or is this just kinda...
I would say you might have heard people talking about it on the streets. He's a very well-known novel, or series. It's about a decade and a half old now. He's been apparently going on adventures for about 15 years in the rougher and more tumbled lands of the Empire.
Oh goodness, I've put my nose in all these scientific books, and yet I've not actually delved into this series yet, and I've heard so much about it on the streets.
Do you know what? Listen, when I'm done with it, do you want to borrow my copy so you can read it?
Oh yes, please, I would love to read them.
Oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. I'm so excited.
Ooh, I'm
He just
getting
kinda
excited just from your excitement.
He's like bouncing up and down a little bit. You've never seen this guy. You have never seen a human being so excited before. And he kind of looks down at like Effie, and it's like he does not even phase at this point. Looks down at me and is like, "Can you believe it? The Mint Greenwood's new adventure came out."
A quick glance at the synopsis tells you that Mint Greenwood is on his daring adventure to save his bubbling cousin once more, as he has to make a deal with his arch nemesis, Gob Habanero, the evil hobgoblin baron.
No.
While everyone's talking, Effie looks at Miriam and gives her like a pleasant smile and is just like,
For all we know, people are dying.
I haven't
Yeah,
concerned my life with others yet. I don't see why I should start.
Oh, that's a good way of thinking.
Sorry, I'm just gonna put the book away. Very excited to read it later tonight. What were we talking about again?
Oh, right, we were talking about murder mystery investigation. Well, there wasn't really murder, just people taken. But
Oh, right. We should probably go back to the bottle then.
do you think maybe we should just stay here since we're already gathered? There are a couple tables in the back. It's pretty quiet.
Yes, there's private study rooms in the back if you wish to use them, Miss Audrey.
Oh, perfect. Yes, please, we'd like to rent out those.
Oh, very good. He leads you to the back. Just through the door in the north. I'll just shove you guys over there for shits and giggle purposes. There.
Yay!
By the way, guys, I'm really sorry, but I saw the opportunity and I took it.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
enjoy your fun. I hate you eternally.
What did I do?
You know what you did.
What, got excited for a book?
Got excited for fantasy. We don't get excited for fantasy here. What do you think it is?
This is D&D, this isn't a game.
Oh god. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the Mint Greenwood references. I used it in my last game as well, so he's canon to this world.
Great.
Listen. You gave me the opportunity to be excited like a little kid about something. I will take it.
You love it, Chris. You deep down. I can hear.
You wouldn't be here if you didn't.
Any
I
case,
had
you guys.
migraines before the game started, and they certainly haven't gotten better.
They're there.
So you guys head to the private room to have your discussion, and you lock the door behind you.
Darcy is in a visibly great mood right now.
Guess what kind of mood Miriam's?
The same one as always.
Nope, it's worse.
You see, if you're with Miriam long enough, you can start to see the little nuance.
The nuance in hate and disgust.
I'm more worried about Miriam killing me now than Effie.
It's a fair thing to be worried about.
No, Miriam, we don't kill our friends.
I don't
Not
think
without good reason.
Miriam, would you like some cake?
I would not.
Are you sure it's delicious?
There's just like a stare from Miriam to Effie.
No, dear Effie. Now, when we're around books, we have to be careful when it comes to food and our hands especially, because once you get a stain on the page, that's the most pleasant thing, and it's not very considerate of other people who want to read the book.
Oh. Okay,
Wait, are we actually
doing my
reading books
best
here?
to be careful.
No, we were relaying information, weren't we?
Right! Sorry about that.
It's alright, I understand the excitement of books. Oh, you should have seen me. So one time in the university, I found out about one series about the biology of whales, and oh my goodness, I think I spent 4 days in there. I almost forgot to eat. I only really left the place only to use the bathroom and to fall asleep, only to fall asleep on the book itself. I had to wipe off a little bit of drool off the page, but nobody noticed, hopefully. But anyways, information!
Yes, all very relevant. It's wonderful.
It is. Miss Effie, did you, and Mr. Winchester, what have you found on the adventure?
Nothing really.
Nothing really, are you sure? You talked to the spiders there?
Well, this really nice spider, their web got broken, which was a little sad. Oh,
no.
but I suppose that we might have found what is making people disappear.
Oh, really?
Apparently some rats have been getting around and getting a hold of people, what?
Yes, it seems these rats are very sickly. Perhaps have boils or something on their bodies. Whatever it is, it's releasing some sort of pollen. And my understanding is that this pollen is probably what is making people go places.
Pollen, interesting.
Oh, and yes, we also found that they are disappearing into the sewers.
Darcy just claps his hands and goes, "Coordinate!"
Shh.
Sorry.
It's alive.
Sorry.
But you're right.
You know, this has been a good day for Darcy.
Pollen, and Audrey is going to look around and see if she can find any thin area. Well, I guess it's studies or whatever. Give me a moment, and she's gonna walk around. Oops.
Oh, which, by the way, we might want to keep a bit of an eye on Winchester. He inhaled quite a bit of it, and it'd be bad if he was suddenly, well, hypnotized.
dear. How are you feeling, Mr. Winchester? Are you feeling hypnotized?
Rather chipper,
just
actually.
She goes up to him, gets on her tips. Oh wait, hold on. Takes a chair, steps up onto the chair. Now, can you open your eyes to me? Are your pupils dilated?
Roll me a medicine check.
I have so many tabs open. I should probably close all of these. What was it? Medicine?
Medicine.
Medicine. Normal. Whoop.
You having little to no experience with gift biology and more look of him just like but some knowledge of hippos, he looks fine. Healthy, like little bits of fur on his nose, and
She takes note of that because she didn't notice that. Puts that in her notes instead. Well, behavior-wise, you seem fine. Well, you are a rather large creature, so I'm assuming you didn't inhale a whole lot of pollen?
no, I suppose Miss Effie just told me to take a sniff at the pollen.
Oh, yes, I wanted him to make sure it wasn't poisonous.
Ah, I see. Trial and error through education. Okay. Oh, I wonder. We will have to keep an eye on you, Mr. Winchester, because this may have been the way to delay a response.
He kind of opens wide-eyed. Are you referring that I might be possessed later, or what?
Possibly, we may never know. Oh, if you ever run into it again. Because, think about it. Did that spider mention anything about biting, scratching? All you know is the pollen and that it's rather sickly.
Based on what the spider said, it seems that it just bumped into the person who disappeared and then they walked away.
Just bumped in, which means the pollen could have rubbed off on the victim and left just enough pollen to possibly affect the person, which means if Mr. Winchester has inhaled even the slightest bit, he could be affected later. Oh, this is both exciting and very concerning. Yes. I hope
As you
nothing
look at
happens
this
to you.
800-pound hippo man.
Audrey,
Yes.
question for you.
Yes.
Can you detective magic?
It's actually I did not bother to look over. I should have that. I don't have any means of knowing. No.
What about poison diseases?
I could research on it, but I am not proficient.
That's okay. I think I can at least take a look him over at me.
Well, if anything, we are at a library, so you could just give me just a moment, and Audrey's gonna take a quick look around the shelves. She's gonna pop out of the study room and look for anything pollen related.
Okay,
Darcy's
roll
gonna
me.
walk over to.
Go to Winchester.
Yeah, he's gonna go up to Winchester. Can he look him over?
Sure. It's a medicine check if you're just doing it physically.
For now, yes. Medicine?
Yeah.
Damn!
No idea how a hippo how gift biology. You get the same experience of Audrey, just notice hairs on his nose. He looks fine as far as you're aware.
Fuck it. I will cast Detect Poison and Disease.
Okay, so you cast Detect Poison and Disease and you cast the spell. Are you ritually casting it or just casting it?
I can't ritual cast.
What? You can't? Okay.
What are you?
No. I'm a paladin.
What are you?
Oh, you cap.
Okay, I didn't know paladins couldn't ritually cast.
Wait, Chris, what do you think I was?
I thought you were a cleric.
Okay, so you cast your Detect Poison and Disease. You do not detect any poison or disease on him.
Alright. And then I will, just for the sake of my own sanity, I'm just gonna say to everyone, we're not planning on going down to the sewers tonight, are we?
Sorry, what'd you say? I'm looking for a book.
Are we planning on heading down to the sewers tonight then?
Oh, well, it's a possibility, and she just kind of pops her head in.
No offense,
Do you have a
Mr.
reason why we would not want to?
It is a
Perhaps
rather big
another-
city with what the sewer span, about 12 cubic miles.
Well,
We should
alright then.
enter through the area that we found.
I suppose it's a start,
Alright.
but
It is a start.
For kicks and giggles, I'm going to divine sense, just to see if I could feel any sort of presence of celestial things around the area.
you do not.
And Audrey's gonna keep looking for book of pollens.
Okay, so roll me
Because-
an investigation check, Audrey.
Fuck.
You spent a good 20, 30 minutes. You can't find anything about pollens or anything specific what you're looking for.
Tome, are you there? And she goes,
Yes, Miss Audrey,
Rolling.
what is it?
Oh yes, Mr. Tome. Do you have any books regarding things like pollen and those magical swords, and just the general, if it's plant-based or magic-based, the effects of those things?
Well, we do have some books on druidic magics and such.
Oh, well, that's a start.
Very good. He helps you over there and sorts you through, looks at you. Do fine. After a bit, he gives you a couple books on certain types of magical druidic magics and pollens. Nothing you can do for what you guys are looking for specifically, though, is in the book.
Okay. Even though it's not really helpful, Audrey will just bring it back to study anyways and just kind of quick read through. Even if it doesn't seem like it's, she'll just have it just because to read it.
Effie, what are you doing wandering around?
She's
I
looking
see
for
you.
books on cake.
Roll me an investigation check.
It's a
Oh,
cake to
boy.
make a pretty cake. If it can be hazy, gotta be the
Why are you singing Lazy Town?
Unfortunately, Effie, never having been in a library in your entire life and having no idea about the Dewey Decimal System, you're just like picking up books randomly and chucking them back behind you as you just try looking for a book that says the word cake on it.
With hands I have not cleaned since eating my bag cake.
No!
As Mr. Toad
Ditto.
looks over during this moment, going, "Hey, what? Excuse me! No!" It just rushes over,
Oh,
starts
yes,
grabbing the
hello.
books.
Can I help you?
This is what are you doing to my library?
I'm looking for a book on cake.
He kind of gives you a very nasty look. Goes, if you wish to make a request for research, you all have to do is ask. As he says, as he picks up the book, takes out like a cloth and starts wiping the books clean and like licking it and like wiping off the cake residue off the covers, and starts slowly sorting them back on their shelves.
Oh, is that not what you do in a library? I was just copying my friend.
Miss Audrey, could you keep a close look of your friends, please?
Oh yes. Oh goodness. Oh, Miss Effie, remember when I told you about the cake? Oh, I should have given. First, here, come over here, and Audrey will find a handkerchief within her mini pockets again, and help her start wiping her hands off. So sorry, Mr. Toad. I'll make sure that these are all clean, or as clean as I can get them.
Very good.
Right, back to the study now. Did you want something on cakes? I could help you.
Oh yes, I'm quite curious on how they're made.
Alright, well, it was in this section. Here we go, 100 cheesecakes. And we'll just take this back and you can take it, alright?
Oh, thank you.
You're
You
welcome.
basically grab the equivalency of of a baking goods shop magazine.
Perfect.
Effie
Let her
walks
look at
in,
the pretty
clutching the
pictures.
book and looking delighted.
the cover on it, you see what is
Can Effie read?
funnily enough, you just see like a high elf woman.
Yes, she
like,
can read.
holding, like a
Okay.
cake in like in a Martha Stewart like dress.
Amazing.
I can't wait to learn about this. I didn't see many books where I came from, but the few that I did were wonderful.
Ooh, what kind of books did you read back then, in your hometown?
Oh, well, whatever my grandpa brought with him. He only had a few, though.
Well, books are always an exciting time, as you can see. And I guess you know. All right, so well, you can take a look at that. And have you ever been to a library before? Seems not.
No.
All right, well, the system here is that you can rent a day, sometimes a week, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes even longer than that, depending on the book. And the library system, they will let you take the book home with you just as long as you bring it back at a certain date in good condition.
Oh, this book isn't mine now.
No, it is not yours. After all, a library is information for every. We share it.
Well, you could ask to buy it. That's what I did as I pull out my book and just kind of start skimming the back cover.
Or you could ask to buy it.
Oh, I will do that then.
Alright. I'll just be back soon. We're still relaying information, I think.
Oh my god.
Yes, what?
I realized something.
What would you realize?
If you learn how to bake, you're gonna have a Spire bake sale, which reminds me.
Fuck
Yeah,
off.
that's what I actually kind of figured Effie was based off Muffet.
Is that what this is?
Honestly, the way
No,
you could, I think, am I wrong, Dweeby? Did you base Effie a little bit off of Muffet?
Who knows?
You son of a gun! Why did you try to turn something I love into something scary? I feel like fucking Sherlock Holmes right now. You know what, DM? Can I increase my intelligence score to 11 now compared to my 10?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you're as smart as Effie.
Not as smart as the kobold.
Also,
Not as
Effie's
smart as the
gonna
wizard.
gonna like creep up on the librarian and just hover over him, just standing behind him until he's done cleaning his book.
He just kind of looks over top of you. He's not like the tallest man alive. He goes, may I help you?
I would like to buy this.
5 copper, please.
5 copper, yeah, that's cheap.
It's a magazine.
She'll place a silver.
Gives you 5 copper change.
She'll hand it back and say,
My apologies for making a mess.
Very good, he says as he puts the coppers back in his pocket.
Do they have chocolate on them?
yes.
That's what I'm here for. That's all I'm here for. It's all I'm here for.
Tome's just rubbing his eyes.
Effie will return to the room with you guys, just clutching the book, happy.
And as you leave, you just hear Tome kind of go, "This Audrey here is strange, friends."
I like to think that they're very wonderful friends, just very different. But you know
I'm
what?
not-
Everyone has a story.
I'm not that strange. I'm a very normal guy, if I do say so myself.
I think you're the
You're quite
strange
strange.
one here.
Just
What do you mean I'm
strange?
What do you mean I'm strange? I'm a normal guy.
I would not meet many normal humans that would fantasize over a book about goblins.
Listen. Listen. Mint Greenwood is no ordinary goblin. He's a hero. He fights for justice and the rights of the world. Alright? He fights for the good of the people.
Oh, is this something you aspire towards?
Aye. Greenwood was a big inspiration to me when I was a child. His example set me on a path of righteousness, of one of caring and kindness, of wit and cleverness. Ah, the man's my hero.
It's good to dream big.
Well,
I
you
like to
never
think
know.
so.
You could become a great investigator like him yourself. After all, we are going to go there tonight.
Oh, no, that's great. I could be a great investigator.
You could be the next Mr. What was it? Greenwood.
Mint Greenwood.
Mint Greenwood. So, we found out about the vampires. We found out about Poolin. We're going to the sewers tonight. Keep a watch on Mr. Winchester. Is there anything else that we missed?
Oh, right, what I did. Unfortunately, there seems to have been an incident down in the slums.
Oh dear, what happened?
A murder.
Goodness, no.
Oh, I was right. Someone died.
Oh dear.
To be fair, it actually seems unrelated to what we've been doing.
How so?
Honestly, I want to further investigate the boat myself. It looks like some sort of drug deal going wrong, maybe, or a crime of passion. Aye, some young lass, human male, seems to have been bludgeoned to death. His skull completely caved in.
Oh, goodness, that is brutal.
Aye. Strangely enough, nothing stolen from him on the body, so he either saw something he wasn't supposed to, he was starting to sell drugs on someone else's turf and they decided to make a message of him, or it was a crime of passion of some sort. Although he was carrying, what was the drug called again? Mercury's Rush?
Mercury's Rush, yeah.
Aye, he was carrying a vial of Mercury's Rush.
Audrey,
Yes.
roll me a nature check.
No, nature check! 13.
Okay, you're not like a master of nature or anything. You know a bit about the drugs and such. One of the things you do know is nobody's not quite sure how they're made. Right? Nobody's sure what the ingredients are in the Empire.
Mercury's Rush. You know, that little drug is very interesting because no one knows how it's made, which I suppose that's what makes it illegal in the first place, but
Hey, but it's not really worth killing for over this city. Getting caught with it's not exactly a crime sensible by death. Elsewhere, yeah, but in here it's more of a slap on the wrist and a fine in your pocket.
But it is still an anomaly considering maybe it is something just to keep the back of mind.
Hey, and because of that incident, unfortunately, my sources weren't where they usually are today. So I didn't get a chance to really talk much about what I set out to find out.
Alright, well, we're going straight to, well, quote-unquote, the source tonight, so you never know, we may end up finding more than we had hoped.
Hey, so are we gonna try to pick up a lead in the sewer and maybe see if we can't find any rat tracks down there, or do you think we should go check out the swift claws first, see if they're related to this in any way?
I mean, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to check out the swift claw. And, werewolves are out tonight, boys. Sorry, distracted. Well, so we could check out the Swiftclaw. After all, we still have some time to kill. Do you think we should look for some provisions, at least precautionary measures? We are talking about possible inhalants. We wouldn't want to end up being affected ourselves. Maybe possibly some. Well, if we're looking for rats, we wouldn't want inhalants. But I'm sure Miss Effie would be able to negotiate with some of these, right?
Effie looks up from her book, is just like,
What?
Oh, since we're going to the sewers, will you be able to make sure that we don't get bitten or such, or possibly affected by these pollen?
Well, that depends on if the rats are good rats or bad rats. All I can do is speak to them.
So it's a 50-50 chance.
They're probably worse if we're potentially walking into the heart of our enemies.
That is true.
We should
Well,
expect to meet resistance.
if you're nervous about it, perhaps I can ask my little friend to look around inside.
That's not a
Oh,
bad
you have a
idea.
little scout ahead of time.
Oh yes, I'm sure Gibby would have no problem with it.
Hey, Gibby, can we have a look at your little friend?
Oh, sure. Kippy, if you don't mind, where are you?
Effie will cart her fingers through her hair until she finds the spider in there.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, Effie, you got a specific spider in mind for this little guy?
Yep. Like I messaged you before.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
So
that was a while
climbing
back.
onto her fingers, a black widow spider.
Yeah.
No!
Male or female? That would be important, I suppose.
Female.
Yeah, so you see the little red hourglass on it. This giant bulbous black widow spider crawling around on her fingertips.
Oh, hello, little Gibby. Oh, you are so beautiful. Look at those markings on the backside. Oh my goodness, you are a little dangerous one, aren't you?
Oh, yes, spiders don't have very long lives, so I've raised her mother and her mother's mother and her mother's mother's mother and her mother's mother's mother, and she keeps
Goodness, so you're like the great grandmother or so, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
You just hear Winchester turn to you, Darcy goes, well, I hate to see what happened to the fathers, eh? What?
That does remind me, though. As for the rest of you, we might be hitting enemies who might tend to say if they got away, or if there's there's more of them than we were expecting. They might hold a grudge, so to speak. Do you have any way of protecting your identities to make sure that we're not putting ourselves in danger in the future?
I don't. I've never had the need to hide my identity before.
Yeah, like a mask or something like that. Mask, change of clothes, something to kind of like hide yourself to make sure that you're not giving away who you are in case your enemies come back for you.
As you say
Well,
that, Winchester looks down at himself and looks over at Effie.
Might be a little bit difficult for some of our companions.
You know, you raise a great point. Alright, well, the priority is, I guess.
Because I'm going to point out right now, Winchester is the only GIF you've seen in the city this entire time.
Possibly on the kobold we've seen.
Yeah. Well, you've seen a couple kobolds. They're rare, but
Oh.
around. You've never seen another GIF. You've never seen another thing like Effie.
Yeah, I've
It's Tenzing
surrounded myself
and
by...
Scar again.
Yeah, god damn it.
Like,
Why can't I ever be around people I can blend in with?
Kobolds you
Effie-
can get
We all
away
play a
with.
human.
But oddly enough, again with the kobold, you've never seen a kobold quite with the same coloring as Miriam. So Miriam sticks out a little bit just because silverly white kobolds are pretty damn rare.
Alright, so maybe a moot point, but still. Alright, yeah, fuck it. Loud and proud, I guess we're doing it.
Well, at some point, I feel like we would have been found anyways. We are, in a sense, snooping a bit, being a little bit sneaky.
Alright, to be fair though, I'm being quiet about it. I don't know what the rest of you have been up to.
We've just been reading books.
We've just been to the marketplace.
Hey, sorry you haven't been that conspicuous. Come on.
Alright, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it. What could be the worst thing that could happen?
On the other hand, Effie
Wait.
was seen talking to a spider in the middle of the marketplace, bent low behind a stall. What?
Oh, yes, they were very polite.
Well, spiders talk to the like, isn't it?
Oh, yes, they paid me a very nice compliment.
Oh. Well then, let's see, what time is it? Is there a window here again?
Yeah,
we
there's
were
a
here
window.
before,
Yeah.
so. Let's see, what time is it? How many more hours do we have to spare? What time do we want to leave? Does 9 o'clock seem too early?
Well, what time is it right now?
So you guys are getting like 5:30. Since you guys went to the bar, ran back from the bar, did some research.
It looks like we still have at least 3.5 more hours before it gets dark.
Well, why don't we just go now? I don't see really a reason to wait till night.
Well, at nighttime, that's when the activity starts, isn't it?
But aren't we going down to the sewers where there's not going to be much going on?
That's true. I suppose we are just looking for clues, though. Ideally, if we find the person behind, or persons, creatures, that is behind this, that is sort of the whole investigation, is.
I suppose.
We'll be searching down the sewers then, eh? Any particular spot we're looking for, as we said. Rather big area to search, though.
Well, Miss Effie did mention that you two found spots by. What was it? The marketplace close by there?
Yes, there was.
Well, that's a start. We may or may not find anything, but one checked place is better than none.
We could perhaps find a path to follow.
Exactly.
Aye, like a rat tracks that might, or footprints that might be leading towards our to our quarry.
Or even the pollen.
Oh, that reminds me, we should probably buy some handkerchiefs just to be safe.
Just to be safe. Yes, I was wondering about that, if they're masked. You know, just in case we end up inhaling anything. No, we'll see. We may have to wash our clothes later afterwards. Well, we could be stinky anyways because we're in the sewers. We'll figure it out as we go. So, if we're gonna run errands, we should probably do it now before we leave.
Hey, all I really need at this point is a handkerchief.
Oh, I got one right here. Oh, goodness. Yeah, it is quite interesting. Never mind. Handkerchiefs. Let's go get those. And, I guess Audrey will step out and lead the way back to the marketplace? Where do we go to our handkerchiefs?
Yes.
Okay.
I will follow.
Mr. Winchester, where do we go to buy such items?
If you're looking just for plain handkerchiefs, the bazaar would be a good place to go.
Alright then, let's head to the bazaar.
To the bazaar! We're off to go to the bazaar to pick up some handkerchiefs.
Bazaar, rather clear, huh?
I'm having fun, you guys.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
So you made Muffet.
Who knows?
You are a person.
Anyways, the guys head to the marketplace. It's getting close to, it's pretty late evening by the time you wander down there. Most stores are starting to close up at this time.
Oh dear. Let's see who's open still. Excuse me, sir! And she'll just go to the first stall that's close by. Excuse me, hello?
Yes, how may I help you?
Yes, we're looking for handkerchiefs and the like. Which booth over here would sell them?
Margaret sells cloths and such over down that way. It just points off in a direction.
Darcy, we'll start walking that way.
Alright, thank you, good sir. Goodbye! And sorry, I was zoomed in so I couldn't see if you're pointing at anything.
No, it doesn't really matter. One booth's as good as another for the purposes of this. So you head towards a booth. We'll say it's this one up here with the black.
Yeah, not suspicious at all.
Darcy will walk up first, just because he wants to make a good first impression.
Before the rest ruins it.
So as you go up there and you see Marcy, what you see is you find like this bearded dwarf woman kind of working around sewing up some cloth and selling looks like dresses and various colored cloths and dyes.
I'll walk up and I will say, Ma'am, I will say you're great at your craft there, miss. Your cloth
Thank you very much,
violent.
sir, good sir. Can I help you with anything?
Oh, I'm just picking up a few things from me and my associates. I was just wondering if you had any handkerchiefs for us that we could be potentially buying from you.
Hello! Or any even magical handkerchiefs if you have any.
Magic looks over around the... Why is this? We need a magical handkerchief. You got quite the boogership below there.
Don't mind them. They're just excited to try new things among the customs. I myself been here for
As she
I've
says
been
that
here
and
for-
watches Winchester approach you guys, walking behind you and looks at him and goes, okay, I get the point to the magical handkerchief now. Look at them nostrils.
Damn.
Roast.
I'll look at her and I'm like, hey, and your silks here seem so fine, just as you.
Go on.
Oh, I do love a good woman. You said she had a beard, right?
She's a bearded dwarven woman, yes.
Yep.
Not like a
I'll say to her, like, I do appreciate a woman who can enjoy a good bit of facial hair.
Yes. And you see she's got like fine, like pink ribbons, and it's very, very majestically braided beard.
I've never seen a beard so well kept before. What is your secret? As I just kind of like rub my own beard a little bit.
It's really good. You know, the Tabaxis have such great shampoos for fur and hair.
You know, that makes sense. I never thought of it that way. Gosh, your eyes are finer than any desert glass I've ever seen.
Oh, you flirt, you.
Oh, don't just take the compliment when it's earned. But I'm sorry to be taking up your time. Can we get a couple of handkerchiefs for me and my associates here?
Oh, of course. Now, is there anything you're looking for in particular? Silk or cotton or...
Oh, would I know what, like, just by chance, would I happen to know, like, what's best for, like, keeping pathogens out, like, mold and whatnot?
Would I also know, given that I work in labs and tend to inhale chemicals and shit like this?
You probably not so much, Darcy. Audrey, you can roll me a... Let's just call it a straight intelligence check.
And against.
Okay. Yeah, you're aware that usually you're looking for some. Most cloths will help. Probably better with a thick cotton would be best. Something that catch the pollen in it. Most likely would be best.
Well, you see, Mr. Darcy, we do want to be things. Probably want Miss. Do you have anything that's a thick cotton?
I do. And she goes in there and pulls out several thick... any particular color you're looking for there, miss?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I am quite partial to the color green. Do you have anything like a forest green?
Well, I do have that here. And she pulls out a nice big thing of forest green fabric. Pulls out like an arm's length. And how much would you like?
Lovely. Yes, I will take it. How much for?
Well, a yard will cost you silver.
Silver, and right here you go. And hands over silver.
You get a yard of cotton cloth, which make more than enough masks for everybody.
I'm gonna have to do this math later. -1 copper.
Minus
Wait,
one copper,
minus
silver.
Minus two silver because I bought earlier in a room.
If you're exchanging a gold, you just add 8 silver and remove a gold.
I'll do that later. Nah.
In any case, so you got enough cloth to make masks with.
Oh, perfect. I think this will do. Mr. Darcy, do you think we'll be needing anything else?
Only the wandering gaze of such a well-crafted beauty.
Oh,
Goodness,
dear
this
me!
one is glad.
If you're
Can I make an insight check to see if this is genuine or if he's just being a bit of a sleaze?
Sure, roll for it.
9.
Okay, Darcy, feel free to roll me a
deception.
deception if you're being a sleaze, or a persuasion if you're being genuine. GM roll, please.
Okay.
You
Clearly, I
have
don't
no
actually-
idea. You have a hard
Yeah?
time figuring it out.
I don't actually care. I'm kidding.
I know.
Effie leans in towards this dwarven woman and is just like,
It seems that my compatriot is attempting to mate with you. That is wonderful.
Oh dear.
Well, that's a bit drastic there, don't you think there, lass?
Is that not what you are doing?
I like to think of it as being completely honest. as I kind of smile at her, give her a wink. You know, the dwarven lady just.
You're quite the charmer, aren't you?
Oh,
And I do like tall men.
Well, I hope I'm as tall as you need.
You're tall to her.
As I'm actually. Yeah, I was about to say I'm actually a fairly short guy.
You're tall for a dwarf.
Oh, no, that's good, it's good.
Effie turns to Audrey and is just like,
Is this like with the brothels you explained, where people give themselves for coin, but Darcy's giving himself for cloth?
No, lass, that's not how this works.
There's a different nuance to that, but technically speaking, if you're looking at the chemical brain and the release of pheromones, and especially during season and different species, you do technically call this a courting into affection.
I just look at the dwarf and I just say, alright, I'm sorry about my friends here. I'll stop embarrassing.
It's alright there,
myself.
Sonny. It's always good to be such a charmer such as yourself. She kind of gives you a wink.
And I will say, alright, well, best be going. Maybe I'll see you around sometime.
Oh, do look me up. I'm always here.
Alright.
Have a good night, miss.
You too, miss. Enjoy your stay in the city.
Will do, definitely.
Thank you for the trade for the handkerchiefs.
Oh, you too, Miss Effie. And she kind of looks you up and down. If you're ever looking in interesting scenarios too, I'd suggest taking the brothel yourself. You could find some interesting stuff down there.
The brothel.
Oh.
Effie tilts her head, is just like,
Oh, are they filled with spiders?
I think there's a few centaurs down there, and there's also a few drow. I mean, I know they're into that sort of thing.
Effie looks at Audrey, is just like,
These are not people that we get to eat, right?
No, not that kind of eating. What's that? That's a talk for another night. We'll talk about that
You
later.
went for the low hanging fruit.
Darcy just chips in. It's just like, listen, if you ever need to talk about something a bit more personal, I'm always here for you. And and with that, Darcy will just take a bit of the cloth and just walk away.
Be careful, he might start flirting with you too.
Yeah, sure. We'll see if that happens.
It's a good thing we're by the market, at least that you led to would be close by, isn't it?
Darcy seems to be quite a bit of a charmer, doesn't he?
Oh yes, definitely.
Your ways are so strange around here.
Human emotions and courting is rather strange indeed. That's why I like to
Darcy,
look at books instead.
I remember that Darcy reminds me a bit of the old Triton style of courtship, hey? What?
The Triton style, what is that?
Tritons? Oh, such soft, silky tongues they have, eh?
Oh, you're talking about those Quartic people.
Oh, indeed, yes. Well, actually, quite a countryman of mine from my homeland, eh?
Oh, where do you hail from then?
Well, I hail from here, but my grandfather came over from Marseille.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Well, I'm sorry to have taken up so much of your time. Why don't we get down to business?
Of course, let's get going then. So I think you guys
Lead the way.
head towards the sewers.
yep, or the place that I had found.
Yep, so you head towards the place you had found where the rat had gone there for the sewer grate. You realize it's a sewer grate, so none of you can fit.
Even
Let me see, like,
I'm not tiny enough.
Yeah, even your kobold's a pretty big fit for these 3-inch high sewer grate.
Oh dear,
Should
well, we
we-
aren't getting in through this way.
Is there a Is there a manhole nearby? I feel like this is something I probably know.
You look around. There's no manhole cover in near sight. No.
Would I know how to get into the sewers?
Yeah, you know there are ways to get into sewers. You just have to find a manhole cover. You're not familiar with this city in particular, but you know that manhole covers are usually within every couple of a mile or so. Given that you can't see one around, probably one's a half a mile away at the most.
Alright. I'll just turn to the rest of the group and it's like, hey, well, we'll need to find a manhole cover. There should be one around here somewhere. Actually, are there any beggars nearby?
Pardon?
Are there any sort of like beggars or just general nearby?
This time of night, well, it's getting close to night. You do see one or two kind of people wandering around. No beggars specifically at the bazaar, though. They're generally chased away from the high business areas.
Got it. Alright, why don't we see if we can't find a manhole cover around here?
Well, even if we do find a manhole cover, should all be able to fit into one.
I mean, they're generally fairly large. I mean, you gotta imagine they gotta become large enough for more bulkier people to get down there, like dwarves and whatnot.
And Audrey kind of takes a quick look at Effie and Winchester, then looks back at Darcy. Mr. Winchester, are there any sewage plants areas where there'd be proper doorways?
Well, yes, in fact, there would be a placed main area in the city to get down for the city areas, yes. If you're looking for larger areas.
I can fit in normal doorways.
I'm pretty big, but it's mostly height.
Well, do you believe that you could fit into the manhole?
Oh, I'm sure I could. I mean, lizard folk have to get down there after all.
Oh, that's
Hey,
right.
Bigger people.
Just double checking, I suppose. But it would be harder to get into the plant anyways, given we need paperwork and to explain ourselves and night, and it's strange. So, yes, let's look for a manhole.
Okay. So you guys go look for a manhole cover. It takes you about 20 minutes worth of walking. At this point, the sun is fully set. As you finally find a the nearest manhole cover.
Alright. And I just put my handkerchief on.
Okay.
Look at everyone.
Yep.
Effie will too.
I suppose I will.
You guys all put your manhole covers on?
Yes, our manhole cover. Yep.
You put on your handkerchiefs on?
I
You
wear
guys
it like
see
a hat.
You see the manhole cover, what do?
Yep. Alright. Mr. Winchester, mind helping me here?
Sure, what do you need?
Just help me lift. 3, 2, 1, what?
Okay, roll me a strength check with advantage because you're getting assistance.
Oh god. Why strength? I understand why.
It's a manhole.
It's a rhetorical question!
Okay, you're like... You're basically getting a hernia as you're trying to lift this
Neither of
manhole
them are able to
cover.
do it.
Are we not able to lift it?
You are not able to lift this. They're heavy, and you have no
Yeah.
tools. In fact, getting your fingers in there is a bit of a pinch.
Oh, hold on. I think I have tools for this sort of thing. Give me a second.
Just trying to like lifting a manhole cover with your bare hands. Not an easy
No, I got a
task.
crowbar. I got a crowbar. I'll use that. I got a crowbar. I got ways in.
Okay,
can't
so this
stop
time you grab a crowbar after realizing lifting with your fingers, bit tough to do.
Oh, I have a crowbar as well. Neat. I don't know why I have that. But...
Okay, so this time using the crowbar, make one more strength check.
Oh god. Can I just have him make it, Mr. Winchester? Be like, oh, I have a crowbar. What am I doing? Do you want to do it?
I can take a crack at it, I suppose. But what?
I mean, you seem very muscular. You seem very strong. Do you want me to do it instead?
To be frank, more dexterous for my size, to be honest, and strong.
Oh, really? I am too! Imagine that.
Am
Are you two able to do it or not?
I'll take a crack at it and I'll take the crowbar and I'll try to open it. Again. Please work.
Please fail.
Oh, it works!
Oh,
So he
You will not stop me!
pops the sewer cover open.
Oh,
Good job, good job.
hey, thank you. And I take a little bow.
No, I should
my crow.
probably put my hair up for this, and Audra's just gonna quickly tie her hair. Alright, so well, off to adventure, aren't we?
You guys,
Who's first?
Off I go! And Audrey's just gonna go right in.
Audrey, please.
Yes,
Then
that's right,
you
that's
go
right, you're
first.
supposed to go in front of me. That's right, I'm sorry.
And
Alright,
Miriam just like walks to it, and do I look down and see the bottom?
yes, it's about 15 feet down, but there is
Cool,
a ladder.
I just jump.
'cause- Okay, you jump.
oh goodness, look at her go.
Effie will make her way in and crawl along the top and down the ceiling. Down the wall.
Yep.
Isn't that useful? Well, I cannot do that, so I'm gonna take the ladder here. Excuse me, just a moment.
I just look around right now to make sure there's nothing immediately threatening.
I can catch you if you want.
Well, tally-ho! As Winchester kind of like jiggles himself in. It's a bit of a tight fit. He's kind of suck his gullet in, but he's able to just squeeze through. It's a bit like poo going down rabbit's hole.
Do I need to like jump on his head? Just be like,
Yeah. As he works his way down to through the sewer.
Alright. If I'm the last one going down, I'll just take the manhole cover and just kind of place it up above us, but leaving it slightly ajar, so that way we can make a quick escape if we need to.
Yeah, so slide it over where you put it over top of you as you go down.
Are there any torches in here?
It is pitch black now as you guys seal it over. As Darcy, you are no longer able
Dark
to see it.
vision.
Oh dear.
Darcy,
let's see here.
Winchester, and
Oh, well,
Give me a moment.
You have something?
And I just pull out my lantern and just.
Oh,
and
perfect.
light it up so you can now see.
There.
Well now, do we see any immediate signs of the rats or the pulling? What do we see here?
At the moment, you see vast stretches of stone with a river of piss and shit.
This is quite a smell that I am not fond of.
Let us follow back in the direction of where we found the grave.
Agreed.
Oh, that's right. Well, lead the way.
Who's leading?
No, it's you, Miss
I'll
Effie.
just start leading.
Alright, so Miss Miriam is going to lead as well.
Okay, Miss Miriam
I
starts-
will.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I follow behind the cobalt, just because I have the light source.
Yeah, so as you guys move along through this area, you eventually make to where about you think was the place you saw the, Actually, roll me a survival check. Miriam.
Please tell me you're good at
That
this.
has to be. I've got a +3 in wisdom. I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, so you find it. You think you find the spot where you believe was the where the rat had come through the opening.
Okay, point it out to the rest of them.
Well, there's a start. Let's see. Miss Effie, did you know which direction it was still headed towards after leaving?
Oh no, the trail ended through the grate. Now we might want to look around for any more pollen.
What color's the pollen?
It was
a
yellow,
light
right?
green. It was a light
Yeah.
Oh, green?
greeny yellow greeny, yeah.
Yellow green. Did it have any certain smell? Any particular? Any other clues about it that makes it different?
I suppose it had a bit of a fungus smell to it.
suppose. No. Well, I suppose we could start looking towards corners and see if there's any other places that wants me to go to, any other home. Alright. And Audrey's just gonna start looking around.
Effie's gonna look around to see if she can find more of the pollen.
I will aid, but with that, I'm also off for the night, so I'll talk to you later.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
see you next week,
Good
Chris.
night.
Thanks. Bye.
See ya. Yep, I get to work at 4 a.m. Hooray!
Oh,
You
good
poor
luck.
son of a bitch.
See ya.
Bye.
Sucks when
I hope
gotta
you
get-
enjoyed our little detour to the back to the library, though.
I'm so
And
glad
we're
you
done.
guys got so excited about Mint Greenwood. He is one of my favorite BS
It's so
creations.
good!
Listen, I figured this was the perfect opportunity to give Darcy something fun.
No, it was it makes perfect sense with your character's backstory that you had been
Oh,
huge
no.
into Mint Greenwood.
Oh no, like you described a character, I'm like, this is it. This is his thing.
This is
I imagine now he has a room just somewhere in the world, and it just like he has all the books that have come out, and just in chronological order. He's got like a poster and like a little bobblehead somewhere, just like he's got it all.
Fun
He's a
fact,
fan.
You're the second player that's decided to do that when I described this character.
amazing. That's how
Was
good
it
character
was-
series is.
was it also your other Dexidin?
No, it was a arcane fighter, but an Eldritch Knight who specialized in gun shooting.
Amazing.
I see. Now I want to know. Now I really want to know how to use guns, so I can shoot holy bullets and be Mint Greenwell.
Well,
Or Greenwood.
You have Winchester with you.
I will. This. Listen, my hippo bro will teach me how to use firearms by the end of the night.
Your hip bro, yep. Not to mention also, I guess for shits and giggles, the first book would have told you that, in fact, Mint Greenwood, the person who built Mint Greenwood's guns, was a GIF. A female GIF named Belle.
I'm just gonna pull. I'm just gonna pull him aside for a minute, and just like while they're looking, because listen, this is not my area of expertise. While they're looking for clues and stuff, I'm just gonna pull Mr. Winchester aside. I'm gonna be like, "So, Mr. Winchester,
Yes.
I do have a question for you.
Oh, of course.
I know this is gonna sound strange, but could you teach me how to use one of your use a firearm, like Mr. Mint Greenwood?"
Oh, I suppose I could do that for you, Mr. Darcy. The jolly good time
Really?
to teach it. Yes, of course.
You know, you've made me very happy right now because now I'm excited because now I get to. Oh my goodness, I gotta end up in one of those small little not desert, but not a soft sand sort of desert, but like one of those hard and barren ones. You know what the ones I'm talking about with all those cactus and whatnot.
Oh, yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, I gotta end up there and get. And when it gets to high noon, I gotta get into one of them shootouts with one of them bandit leaders.
Speaking about the Mint Greenwood books, I'm assuming, what?
Oh, Mr. Winchester, Greenwood was one of my favourites growing up. I still love his story to this day.
Oh, I have to admit, to tell you the truth, I know for a fact the boy is real. What?
I've met people who said they've met him before. Have you met him before?
Not personally, but my aunt happens to be Belle.
You just see Darcy just go, my total fangirl, just your aunt's Belle.
Aye, and she invented his most famous guns.
Mr. Winchester, could you introduce me?
I suppose in the future, if we ever get the opportunity to go around, I'll see if I can find Aunt Belle to introduce you to her.
We will have the opportunity. I will have the opportunity, my good sir. You and I are gonna. I don't know about the rest of these guys, but you and we're gonna go meet your great Aunt Belle. Oh, I have so many questions to ask her. Oh my goodness, you have no idea how much this would mean to me, sir.
I'm sure you'll have a good time. What? By the way, just for shits and giggles, you are aware that Mint has 3 known guns. He's got a long rifle known as the Long Shot. He's got a pistol. He's got a pair of pistols known as the Royal Flush and the Wild Card.
Darcy thinks that's the coolest thing ever. He is excited.
Yeah, he's also got a big-ass Bowie knife called the Deck Cutter.
Darcy wants to be like this man.
You also know in the first adventure of Mitt Greenwood, he was renowned for beating an ogre in a fist fight.
And that's what I'm gonna do one day. With Harmy's blessing. Say again.
He's like, you're going to outwit an ogre with a good old fist fight, are you?
Oh yeah, know it, and I just like crack my knuckles and just. That ogre doesn't stand a chance. I'll show him the old C word 1-2 pop.
Meanwhile, the other.
Over there. Are you doing all right? Within your family, have you found any pollen?
Have I found any pollen?
Effie is still looking.
Okay, so for first off, we'll start off with an investigation roll from you there, Zaku.
Investigation 15!
Okay, you were looking for what again exactly? Were you looking for pollen as well? Were you
pollen.
looking for... Okay, you don't find any extra pollen down here in this dark sewer. You imagine, due to the dampness of the air and kind of just the fact that there has been many horrible things that have run through this sewer, the pollen probably has dissipated over the several days it's been gone down here in this damp area.
Oh, goodness, we may not have any luck with pollen here. It has been, how long has it been since this person had gone missing?
As far as I'm aware, it's been about 2.5 days. What?
2.5 days, and the temperature in the atmosphere. Wind still blowing, even the air passages through. Oh dear.
Effie's searching for any sign of like frequent passing of rats.
Roll me in survival.
Yes, we probably won't find any pollen over here.
I mean, you find lots of rat tracks, but they're going every which way. You have a feeling rats in the sewers are fairly common, and you can't seem to find the one you're looking for with that.
How about any potential foot traffic down here?
Roll me a survival check.
Why do I ask
investigation,
things?
what are the other?
Nope, survival. It's definitely gonna be survival. 12.
Again, sewers. A little hard to tell with the stone flooring, and they travel through the shit piss, then the shit piss would have cleared it. Nothing you can tell that would be an easy path to travel that would indicate footfalls of any sort. You do kind of, with all your combined stuff, though, you do notice that there are oddities and kind of weird things down here. As Winchester turns, he goes, perhaps I should mention that there tends to be dangerous things down here occasionally, as he says as he cocks his gun.
Are you talking about the rats? As I just sort of, kind of like, grab my rapier.
More dangerous things than that, what?
Oh dear.
No, I mean, not rats, I mean the rats.
Oh, the guild!
Aye.
As far as I'm aware, they don't live in the sewers down here, but I'm not exactly well versed in the guild here.
I'll guarantee you that they probably use these places to get around.
It's possible.
Well, we're down here,
probably
isn't it?
store things. What? So there's
It's true.
crates there.
I suppose if we could ever get to the guild, we could ask them, hey, what? Perhaps they'd have a better clue of where to look.
The Rats Guild or the mercenaries?
The Rat Snakes Guild, I'm guessing, if you think they're frequent down here, eh?
Would I know,
Perhaps.
just based on my background, if the Rats Guild would probably these places and where they would be located if they did?
You are aware that lots of, given your background, I'll say you are aware that it is common practice for, the activities of such place like the Rat Snakes Guild do take place with, of smuggling and such ideas. You wouldn't know exactly where they would be, based off that, you have no. Some thieves guilds do make places in sewers. Some do it in upper areas. Again, you not from this city specifically. You would need to go look for more information to find out specifics.
Alright. But it's probably likely that they've been around here. They might have seen something.
You would say it's quite likely that the thieves have been down here doing stuff occasionally. Yes.
Alright. Well,
Perhaps there are more little friends so we can ask.
it's not a bad
that's
idea,
right.
actually.
Are
Can you
there?
just do that all day long, by the way?
I can do it only 2 more times.
Oh dear,
Alright.
so you really have to conserve it.
Well, I could also have a little chitter chatter with our little friends if you feel yourself getting running on low.
Oh, that sounds
Little
wonderful.
creatures as well. Sorry.
Hey, I've been on to carry a conversation.
Well, very well. Let's see if we can find any little friends.
Effie will crawl up along the walls and ceiling to see if she can find any wet.
Sure. Roll me another survival check. After a search, you do find a couple a spider web stuck up in a corner.
Alright, she'll use speak with animals. Let me mark that up. Alright, and she'll lean in and say,
Excuse me, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but would you perchance have seen a rat or rats pass by that looked sick?
Kind of looks at you. Yeah, recently.
When was the
What a-
last time you saw one?
Time ago. Lots of time.
Do you know which direction they went?
Yeah, spider kind of looks around in the dark. Says, possibly north.
looking north, is it just a long stretch path, or does it split in different directions from where we can...
It's a pretty crisscrossing sewer, so it goes north and then crisscrosses in a bunch of areas like sewers do.
Alright, Effie will look at the spider and say,
Thank you.
and move back down to the group and point towards the north and say,
Let us go this way and find the next splitting path and see if we can find more little friends to ask.
Ooh, good idea. And Audrey, meanwhile, take out her notebook and just start drawing just a tiny map.
Effie's gonna immediately start walking, because she knows she can only do this for 10 minutes.
Okay, so you start walking. Roll me another survival when you reach the impasse to see if you can find anything else. This time you start looking around and you can't seem to find anything that would help anyone to be speak to this time as you look around at this impasse.
How many different directions are there?
3. It's a basic T section.
Well, if we keep our hands on the left wall, and we just keep our hands on the left wall, eventually we should hit every spot of the sewers.
Is how it works.
Yeah, if you're ever in a maze, just keep your hand on the left wall, and then as long as you keep your hand on the left wall and you just follow the wall, you should eventually hit every inch of it.
Correct me if I'm wrong there, Mr. Darcy, but if you keep your hand on the left wall the entire time, wouldn't you just keep walking in circles? What?
Well, if there's a break in the wall, yeah, like if it's in a square, I was about to get there if you'd let me. No, but if we hit a break though, if we hit a break in the wall, then we just note that we have to let go of the wall for a second and find the next bit of left wall to hold on to, and then we just keep going around until we find what we're looking for. That would take forever though. Why don't we just wander around for a little bit, see if we can't find any more tracks or anything by chance, and if we can't, then we have to go back to the tavern, and I can try finding some more sources to get some information out of.
Well, if anything, we could look for the schematics. The hope sewer system. Then we
That's a good idea, actually. That's a very
Well,
good idea.
while they're talking, Effie's gonna search over the entryway of these 3 splitting paths to see if she can find any sign of any more pollen or.
Okay, so you go for the searching the paths for more pollen. Roll me one last survival check. You search around for pollen again. It is just very difficult to look down here and find. If you can find pollen, it doesn't seem to be anywhere you'd be able to track down for this spot.
Oh dear. Those who came down here with not enough information, isn't it?
Hey, we need more of a guide to lead us to what we're looking for.
Are there any more crates around here? You mentioned that there were crates at the beginning where we were originally.
Oh yeah, there's grates every half a mile or so, just in case with the occasional rainfall that occasionally falls. Not a common experience in a desert, but it's not like that bad of a desert.
Okay, so it's just more like crates for emergency cases.
Yeah, just in case there's emergency flood or something to prevent flash flooding.
Okay.
It's
Also-
less that we're looking for a specific place, but more for these creatures. If we ask people, it's unlikely they're going to know.
That is true. I suppose if we go to a place that has creatures about, I guess the stinkiest place that we could find, maybe towards the actual plant, there could be undercover people here too.
Oh, wait, I have an idea. Why don't we check out the dump? Right, there was a dump, right? Yeah, because... Hold on, correct me if I'm wrong, DM. We heard something about a dump, right, and that a lot of rats tend to gather there?
No, that was just a dump.
Never mind.
Literally, you're remembering the dump that I kind of bothered to omit simply because the dump was there, so you could pick up Dylan's character.
Right. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Never mind.
It's a legit thing.
You just see Darcy get a nosebleed, and it's just like... I don't remember what was I saying?
Right. We're looking for places where the little creatures would gather.
Well, I could check...
Oh, actually, so if the sewer system is a bit like catacombs, there should be some places historically where maybe that are worn off, that doorways that aren't supposed to be used anymore, that maybe they could start using again, because it's technically off the map. But if we find historical maps of the schematics of yours versus the newer ones, maybe we could find something as well.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
But again, we're not really looking for a specific place, are we?
Well, if we're depending on what kind of creature or entity we're dealing with, if anything, if they're taking people away, they are going to need to store them somewhere. So I think that there would be a place. So
This is assuming that they're taking them. We don't know if they're killing them or eating them.
Hey, that's
true.
To be
But
fair,
they need
also, we're not sure if the people are going down the sewers either. What? Only the rats so far.
Yes, we're
That's
mostly
right.
down here to find who's sending the rats.
Hey, but that person would definitely need a place to stay at some point.
But
I just find
as-
it's... Oh, sorry, keep going.
if no one has found this place or this person, it is unlikely that anyone will be able to point us in a specific direction.
Well, I will say one thing though. Thieves tend to have a bit more of a... They tend not to talk much to the guards, at least, or to the general populace about things they may have seen while conducting business that isn't necessarily, shall I say, upfront. If you
fine.
I'm saying thieves don't. A thief won't report an incident of suspicious behavior because then they have to explain why they saw it in the first place, which usually leads to more questions that they don't want to answer.
And why would these so-called thieves be dealing with a person sending sick rats and kidnapping people?
Not necessarily dealing with, but may have seen.
So just sightings, and rather than the strange behavior, just turn the other way, otherwise risk eyes being on themselves, if anything.
Exactly.
Well, I suppose the Thieves Guild would be a start. Miss Miriam did mention that looking into newer people that have been coming in and out, suspicious activity, and then that would also include normal people heading out of the city if they did at all.
Aye. So... Alright. First off, let's get out of here. Because this... I just kind of like point to my nose. This is starting to burn.
Imagine how I feel, what?
And I pity you greatly. Come on, let's get out of here.
You guys crawl out of the
alright.
sewers.
Oh goodness, we are definitely going to be needing a bath.
It's by now, at this
Aye.
point, guys, getting very late at night.
Alright, let's head back to the tavern and try to figure out what our next set of plans is.
Right, well, lead the way.
Alright. I guess I will start walking in the direction of the tavern.
Okay, you guys walk back towards the tavern. Having gathered some information today, made some good progress in figuring things out. A little bit more to go, but as you guys make your way back into the place, have your baths, clean yourselves up for a nice sleep. I think we'll call it there for the night, guys.
Are we actually getting closer to solving this?
You guys are getting the clues.
Are we?
Please, please, please.